Y'all know what it is. MZ Talks Boxing.
Let me make this abundantly clear. We talk about boxing here. My opinion is winning, but if you ain't feeling, you're on your boxing. Yeah. This mental headshot sting. So do these body blows that I bring. You wanted the big step to the ring. Let's go to the toe to the final bell ring. MZ Talks Boxing. Yeah.
Are we in the house now? Yeah, I think we're in the house now. We had a little technical difficulty coming up in this camp, but we got it. We got it. Well, sit back and chill for a minute. Let the chat start to fill in. Let our brothers and our sisters come around. And we're going to talk about some boxing. Hopefully, my brother social scientist rolled through. Trey X, King of Kings, Gil Cole, Armin Brown, everybody. I'm just going to sit back and chill. But while we do that, why don't we go ahead and pump a little sound up in here? Man, I like that track. We're going to have to work on that one and put it out, get it cooking. Oh, we're going to chill a little bit, let the chat start to fill in, wait for our family to start falling through so we can chop up this boxing. I want to touch on this Devin Haney tank rumor they got. Ryan Garcia is just losing his mind. He calling out Floyd, and I think that's, it's a smart thing because, he know if he fight Floyd, instant millionaire. 2 or 3 times over. But I hope Floyd don't play the greedy role and take that, because he should let Tank make that a big fight. I don't think Ryan Garcia can beat Tank, but I'm gonna leave that to open discussion. We all start talking. But I wanted to bring up something. I know you guys remember when I told you that there was a shooting up there at my job, how the car got shot up and everything like that. Well, out the blue, one night, the youngster that was driving the car shows back up to the store. He shows up to the store. He say, "Can I talk to you?" So I go out there and I'm talking to him, and I say, "You the young man from the other day when they shot up your car?" And he says to me, "I'm not gonna say that's me, but I'm not a bad person." And he started trying to explain himself, telling me he wasn't a bad person, he hadn't did anything like that. And I kind of cut him off, and I was like, "Dude, regardless of whatever happened before you got here, it looked like self-defense to me. They came up here and started blasting your stuff. You did what, well, I can't say you did what anybody would do, but you did what I guess would come to mind for this time and age. You went out there and you tried to shoot back, defend yourself." But after that, the next day, because here in Texas, they got this new law that everybody can carry a gun. These youngsters be walking around with guns and magazines so big it's just hanging out their pocket, their hoodies or whatever. So these about 3 different youngsters come to the store with they pistols. They like, "What's up, OG?" I'm like, "What's up, man? What's going on?" They say, "You good?" "Yeah, I'm good." "Well, what's wrong?" "We just let you know if somebody try to pop off with you, we got you." Things that go on when you just be a cool ass person to people. Never know. Just doing my job. Anyway, working in this store, you meet all kind of strange people, and you see all kind of different things that go on. And something that I noticed between the guys and the girls is buying condoms. I'm gonna tell you the difference of how they buy condoms after we go ahead and drop another track just to get things going. Have y'all warming up, letting y'all know how me and the brothers doing. If I can get this mug to pull up, what is the problem here? I'm having technical difficulties. There we go. Let's get this together here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this track. Something smooth for you to just get your groove on. Pour you up a glass of wine or some cognac or whatever it is that you like to sip on. Go on and get rolled up. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about the difference between girls, ladies, and men when they come to the store about condoms. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and ride to this track, and we're gonna dig into it. All right. So as I was saying, I'm working at this store, and when it come down to men and women coming in the store to buy condoms, I've noticed that the guys always seem like they kind of embarrassed. You know, they come in, they whisper, "Yeah, y'all got a box, y'all got some condoms," and I always have to say what? Some condoms. So I'm like, oh, we got us live for the night. You know, he thinking with his head, not the little. He coming in here to make sure that he's safe. And I mess with him like that. But this one lady came in and she said, "You got some condoms?" All proud. So I'm like, "Yeah, what kind you want?" She said, "I never brought any before. This is a first time experience." So I say, "You got these right here that say ribs for her pleasure. And then you got the extra thin. And you got these magnums." And she says, "Give her the extra thin." And I say, "You literally got a box right here with the girl name in it for her pleasure. And you gonna pick that one, the ultra thin? You should get her pleasure." So she laughing and everything. We go to the register. I got her condoms for her. She goes and grabs some cupcakes. I said, "Oh, you gonna need a sugar rush after it's over?" She laughs and I say, "You never know." Working in that store is something crazy. It's funny as hell. People come in and they be trying to steal. And it's funny when you get to the door and the shit that you stealing fall out. That's just embarrassing. But like I said, we ain't gonna deal with the store. That's for another station, another time to talk about the different stories that be going on with these characters that come into the store. Every time I look up, I'm hearing different channels talking about Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. They still arguing about the semantics of things that I don't think they really know about. I'm trying to be as patient as I can, waiting for the fight. I'm still tripping on how I'm hearing people coming up with reasons of why Terrence Crawford can beat Earl Spence, why Earl Spence can't beat Terrence Crawford. Now they're trying to start a narrative about Terrence Crawford could just leave this fight and go straight up to 154 and challenge Jamil. Well, as good as I think Terrence Crawford is, I'm having a hard time putting it in my mind that he'll just beat Jamil. He seems to be a slicker boxer than Jamil, but Jamil seems to be a solid boxer. And what if he can't hurt Jamil? That'd be a lot of problems for old Crawford. But listening and looking at him and everything, it is what it is. You kind of feel in this group. If you're here jamming with me and listening to me, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me. No need to just sit in and at least do that for a brother. Hit the thumbs up. Now we got a new single coming out called High Noon. And we picked High Noon because Hyphy, Trey X, a few other family brothers said it's a jamming song, so we're going to go ahead and put it out. That's the right thing to do. I figured that we, I just feel like jamming and relaxing and just, y'all bring the conversation to me. Tonight, we just gonna open it up. Whatever y'all want to talk about, let's talk about it. We got Gil Coles in the house. Salute my player. He say salute OG. I say salute right back. I missed you guys. I missed last week. Glad I can get here this week. I've been actually battling this assistant manager because I'm trying to take their spot. Putting that pressure on them. They starting to bend. Actually, I put so much pressure on them that Thursday is their last day. I'm a shoe in for that spot. GM already been trying to give it to me, but now I'm ready to take it. More money, more problems, but I relish the thought of fixing things that's broke, and that store broke. Oh, shoot. Gil Cole say first place in Champ Boss last weekend. Now that's something to talk about. Now, can you hold that spot? I know you're going to go down a little bit, but at the end of the season, Gil Cole, can you be champion of the Champ Boss? Somebody else, and let me go ahead and say I've never said it, but tonight I'm going to say, yeah, I'm part of the Block family. That's right. Musically Zone Toss Boxing is gonna roll around with the Block family and love it and gonna represent. I think I'm gonna get with my brothers and see if we can come up with a Block family anthem, something to jam to. We got Hyphy in the house. Hyphy said, "I don't care about that fight. Actually, I'm beyond tired of hearing about any news pertaining to it." I can feel you on that there, Hyphy. I can feel you on that 100%. It is a lot of talk about it, and it is kind of getting on nerves. At least mine, a little bit. But I can't say I don't care about it. I care about that fight. I want to see that mother. I really want to see that fight. Now, let me put some information out for anybody, that's going to come in and catch the rerun. If you're a betting kind of person, you like to bet on the fights and what have you, I'm going to say this right now. Trey X is, how can I put this? A savant, in my opinion. When it comes to crunching the numbers and looking at the numbers and looking at the amateur records and the stature of a fighter and just the details of putting your money down on a pretty sure bet. That man has given me such good information that I'm a witness to when he says that he makes good picks and his bets go through. Yes, we have taken a few losses, but way more many wins than losses. So I'm imploring him, if he's in earshot or somebody can reach out to him, I'm imploring him to make one of those Patreon pages. And I'll be one of the first people to sign up. And I advise you guys to help me get him to start a Patreon page, because the young man is talented when it comes to picking these fighters, man. He's very, very talented. Gil Cole say, if you make bets, pay your debts. I'm always on there when it comes to paying the debt. Always. Salute to D-Lo 4 Boxing, my brother in the house. Good to see you, man. I missed you guys. Like I said, I missed out on y'all last week, but I can't wait to be able to chop it up with you guys this week. Hyphy says, the problem isn't bets going through. The problem is people not paying out after bets. Okay, I'm starting to see a cycle here. Now I know it ain't nobody in the Block family that's not paying off debts. That just can't be, We all straight up. But I'm sensing something is afoot. Y'all have to forgive me if I'm not just rolling like I usually am. I'm sitting here listening to the track. I got something in the air. Got me a bottle of that Stella Rosa, because y'all know I like that Stella Rosa. I got to go back to this restaurant my wife took me to and find out what kind of Italian wine they had. That wine was so good, bro. I'm telling you, that wine was lovely. Let me know what y'all got rolled up, what you smoking on. I got me some train wreck and some Oreo. Mixed them together. I'm higher than a giraffe's ass right now. Standing on a ladder. If the giraffe was on the ladder, that is. So Gil Cole say, "Bam, OG, between me and you, Trey X tried to talk me out of my dog boy pick. Just keeping this between us." Like I said, he got more wins than losses. The dude tell you when you should hedge your bet and everything. He's been teaching me stuff about gambling or placing bets on the fights that would have never crossed my mind. I mean, this dude really gets down and get into the numbers. I can't say he's perfect because he's not. But the dude is authentic. I can tell he does his homework. He lets you know pretty much what the percentage is if you winning or losing. He lets you know if it's a shaky bet. I mean, what can I say? Somebody might say I'm riding tip right now. And I say, fuck you. I'm just keeping it real on what it is that I'm dealing with, who I'm dealing with. So I've been putting money down every time he's told me. And I have not been dissatisfied. Even with a loss, I'm not dissatisfied. Because he's always learning. He lets me know, hey man, we took this loss, and then he goes into detail about what he thought, how he ended up making the wrong pick, and how he's now aware of that, so he'll be looking for it again. So once again, I think this young man should start a Patreon. He gonna get tired of hearing me say that. I'm pushing him toward it. I think he should be getting paid for the information that he has and he gives. Y'all feel me? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this track playing in the background. Let me turn it up for a second while I take a couple of puffs. If this ain't something that you can talk boxing to, I don't know what it is. How if you say it's not a good thing to claim Block family publicly? The pro-black boxing community would try to destroy your channel. Hyphy. You know me. If you don't know me, I'm pretty sure you get a feel of how I am. I don't give a damn what they gonna try to do. I deal with real people that come to my channel. How they gonna destroy them? They can't. So, like I said, that'll just make me go even harder and come up with an anthem for the Block family. Ha! That's right. The wheels turning. I dropped the link in the chat. Anybody want to jump in? It's always open. Gil Cole said, King of Kings Boxing. If you're watching, pay your debt. We cool. Oh. Shots fired. Now I see why that conversation was going that way. Are you telling me? Are you telling me that the bet that we spoke about some time back still hasn't been paid? Wow. I don't know what to say about that. You know, that should have been knocked out a minute ago. Well, Gil, I hope you get it. Maybe our brother going through something. Maybe you know he don't want to speak on what he going through. Maybe his money's short. He can't get it to you right now. I don't know. The boy say steal, OG. Steal. Wow. So it is that bad, man. That's been. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been about 4 shows, 5, 6, maybe 6 shows. It's over a month because we do a show once a week. So I'm thinking it's been over a month. Am I correct? It's been like over a month. If so, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that at all. I'm flabbergasted. That's all I can say. I'm just flabbergasted. So, anybody got any feelings or something they want to say? Excuse me, about the Ryan Garcia Fortuna fight? Anybody? Y'all let me know what you thought about it. I got to see some of it after it happened because I had worked that day, so I ended up just catching highlights. Uh, in my opinion, from what I got to see of Ryan, he was boxing. He showed his speed, his little power, but the way he was getting in and out, I don't know if he just moved funny or he looked a little timid with it. And that dude's still fighting with his chin up in the air. I would have thought Guzman, Mister, I think Joe Guzman. I would have thought his trainer would have corrected that I would have thought that would have been one of the first things he corrected. But it seemed like Ryan's still fighting where he offering up that chin. I think that was dog more person you wear. That was much. Oh, excuse me. Hyper, you're gonna have to come on in here and break that down for me because I didn't get to see that fight. Like I said, I've been working so hard trying to take over this other person's position at the job that man, I've been working overnight. The other day I worked from 10 to 11, went home for a few hours and went back. I want that spot. I need that money. I need that money. I got songs that need to be put out. So I can't speak on that fight, but I will. I will look it up. I'm trying to find all the fights that Trey X put me down on. Let me cough real quick. So I can actually see what he was talking about, the things that he talked about when he made those picks. I want to see him come through in those fights. And another thing about it, he will apologize if you take a loss. And he's so genuine with it. When he come to you, it's almost like a fault. Because I'm like, dude, you're good at what you do. Go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's betting. It's gambling. People dig into their pocket. That's not your fault. You're just giving them the information. If he can just, I understand he feel bad, but I'm just, don't let it bother you so much, bro. Don't let it bother you. I got love for the way this young man do his thing. He's an oracle of boxing for me. He can call the fight, and then he can call the fight when it comes to a bet, putting that money down. And we've been making money. My account just growing. I'm saving up so I can go see that Earl Spence and Crawford whenever they decide to do it. As long as it ain't too fast so I can't get the money up. But I am ready to book a hotel, book a flight. Anybody else gonna try to go to the fight, holler at me, let me know so we can try to link up. I would love to holler at one of you brothers in person. Chop it up and just get a feel for you. Go out and have some drinks and get something to eat. And talk boxing. Tonight is the night. I feel good. I'm rested. Finally, got a day off to rest. You see, I got another Titan track. I see the other one didn't get no response. Spence, oh my goodness. Hold up. Don't hold your breath. Fight not happening. Come on, Hyphy. Come on, man. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Don't tell me the fight not won't happen. Have some faith, bro. Gil Cole say Spence versus Thurman. What I've been hearing today. Now, I have been hearing that because the WBC, from what I'm understanding, has moved Thurman into mandatory for Spence's belt. Now, That is what I've been hearing. Thing is, Earl Spence have spoken and said he not fighting Thurman, but it can stand a chance that he might have to if he and Crawford can't get it done. The WBC might try to put a date on it, and you know how these sanctioning bodies do. They might try to say if you don't have a deal by this time, you need to start negotiating with Thurman. That could happen, and with a roll of the dice, because things are going so long and taking so long, they might be trying to do that. Social scientists in the house. When I said never, I meant it. That's what Spence said on Twitter. He ain't fighting Thurman. Okay, so like I was just saying, those scientists, DeCane, he might get put into a position and do that. Waste all your energy on Marshall versus Shield, a fight that is actually happening and comes with great co-main event. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be an all-lady card because isn't Alicia Baumgardner and damn, I can't think of the lady's name right now. They supposed to be fighting on that card too. Yeah, that is gonna be some good fights, some good fight. I might have to try to take something to the job and be able to watch it. If it's happening on the date. Michaela Meyer, that's her name. That's right. Baumgardner versus Meyer. I don't know who the next the fight is before them, but I know they the co-main event. But I did hear them say that they were trying to get some more female fighters on their card. That's going to be an exciting card, especially Shields and Marshall. I feel like Shields got this burning desire to beat Marshall, even though she hasn't even said that loss to her hasn't bothered her. I actually heard her in the interview saying that she lost. I think she was like 18. She said she was around 18 when she took that loss. And she was like, I can't remember what interview it was, but I believe that she, the way she was talking, you could tell that she did not like the fact that she lost to that girl. And I think she's finna try to avenge that. I'm not gonna say she's gonna knock Marshall out, but I think she gonna put hands all over Marshall. I just hope she on point with her defense and everything, because I don't want to take in too much punishment or taking too many hard blows from Marshall while she putting her hands on her. But Hyphy, you all right. Thank you for turning the track that way. Those are going to be some good fights. Some very good fights. But if we had to imagine Thurman and Spence fighting, I know Gil Cole's going to be the first one to say something. So let me say, how do you think that fight would turn out? Let's do this fantasy talk and say, if Spence was some kind of way forced into a situation because Terrence Crawford and he and Terrence Crawford can't come to agreements in a certain amount of time. Let's just say, and I'm spitballing here, that the WBC pulls their stunt and say if they don't have something in a certain amount of time, that he must start negotiating with his mandatory. As Keith being the mandatory, how do you see that fight? I see Keith, one of Keith's problems for me is he likes to pull straight back a lot. That's how Manny Pacquiao called him. And he likes to wait a minute. You could say, what other fighter said he not fighting somebody because I don't like him? Earl, shut that soft ass. Whoa. He wanted to fight him because he said he wanted to fight him because he didn't like him. They was like, I heard that. But I didn't hear him say, I heard him say he's not going to fight him, but I didn't know he had said because I don't like him. I remember him saying, I want to fight him because I don't like him. And remember he was in interviews taking shots at Thurman, talking about, he might get injured again before we fight. All kind of stuff like that. That was one time Earl was actually just going after him and did interviews and everything. I got to stop sitting up under this AC vent. This hoe be clogging my nose up every time. D-Lo 404 Boxing steps into the conversation. He says, it ain't a matter of not liking him. It's the reason why he don't like him. Elaborate, my brother. Please, elaborate on the reasons that he doesn't like Thurman. And while you elaborate on that, Rolly is a great promoter of oneself. Now, if they can just give him the aim in his weight division, it'd be awesome. But calling out a 147 pounder, calling out a 147 pounder, the one that holds 3 belts, I don't think Rolly want that work at all in no kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. But, right now is the time to just say whatever you want to as a boxer to make yourself hot and get people talking about you. So, to me, that's what I see going on. That's all I've been seeing what's going on. Why is Bernie the boxer coming out making videos about the negotiations and it should be 50-50 and all that? I'm at the point I don't care about none of that. Just somebody hurry up and get these guys to the ring and ring the bell. Wait a minute. We got D-Lo 404 checking in. He said he got some, what is that? Let me click on this so I can see that better. Some Magilla Gorilla. What? I had to put it on the bigger screen so I could see it. I used to watch the hell out of that cartoon when I was young, Magilla Gorilla. It's gas. It got you up there. You about to touch Saturn. You passing Saturn. That's how high you are. So Debo, what's the reason that Earl say why he don't like Keith Thurman? I would like to know because I didn't hear that one. Let me see. I don't pay any. Let me put it on the big screen. I just need to go ahead. These glasses. I don't pay any. Never mind to anybody so-called take on while the fight ain't announced yet. Yeah, that makes good sense. I feel you on that. No need to be even listening to these guys talking about the fight is going through like this, or it ain't happening because of this. Because none of them know. I can't see one of those channels that get to talk to, because Terrence Crawford, he don't like a lot of these YouTube channels from what I can tell. He don't mess with them at all. And Earl Spence is kind of like that too. He'll mess with a few of them, but I don't think he's sitting around just giving out that kind of information. These boys just saying stuff to get you to click on their videos. Man, I just made that shit up sound like some gas though. I don't smoke. Ain't that? Boy, I tell you the truth, the way your family will do you. Had me sitting here thinking he really had something going on. Right, they flop from one week to the other. When it comes to talking about this boxing, they do flopping, flipping and flopping. 1 week to everything is silent. Then the next thing you know, Terrence Crawford said this, or Earl Spence did that. They going back to stuff that it don't even matter. Way back like that. That shit, they're just stupid. D-Lo said, I don't think either of them are studying these MFs. No, you right. And that's kind of my liking to both of them, because they're not just running their mouths all the time. They give you just enough. I wish they would show the things. That's what I wish. They would show the things about Crawford where he be chilling with those younger fighters and the camaraderie he got with them, because apparently he got a good brothership, because every guy that's come out of that gym and say they mess with him, they always talk highly of him. Shakur Stevenson talks highly of him. All those all those young men, those young fighters talk good about him. Now, D-Lo spilling some wine on the ground. He say, Earl don't mess with Keith because of the head games Keith played when he had The Rock. then I can go with that. I can see how that could make a person really have a disdain for you. And Earl seems to have a real disdain for Keith Thurman. Do you think he disdained him so much that he'll drop the WBC belt other than fighting and just say, forget it, I'll move up if he and Crawford can't get it together? The Earl don't even have to like Keith. Al don't care nothing about that. Well, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I don't think that Al could just force Earl to fight. I don't think nobody could actually force that dude to do anything. He seemed like he a pretty headstrong young man, as well as Terrence Crawford. They both seemed pretty smart. The moves that Crawford made, it wasn't fast enough for a lot of people, so they gave him that nickname, Top Rank Toby, which I never called him that. I just could. Why are you tearing him down like that? Why? What is it about Crawford that people don't like, and what is it about Spence that people don't like? And at the same deal, what is it about him that makes people like him? I think I'm gonna say what my big brother Maestro be saying. He said, Crawford looked like a dude to come out the hood that you be hanging with and kicking with and just doing your thing with. He said Earl seemed like the quiet dude that you be hanging with. He probably get loose and everything, but he just ain't hood. I think they both got a little street in them. Terrence probably got a little more in him because how he was raised up and the things that they say he was always getting into fights. Earl said that his daddy was just keeping him pretty much busy. I think. I don't remember if Earl was getting in trouble or not. I don't think Earl was getting in trouble. But I know Terrence was running around beating up on people. Pray from interviews that I've seen him in, the few where they asked him about how he got into boxing and stuff like that. So, moving right along, I'm still tripping. D-Lo, you did me like that, man. You playing the head games today. Not head games. What in the world is... I feel what you're saying. D-Lo made up a weed strain. Yeah, he did. He Magilla Gorilla. That's just cold, dude. That's just cold. He shouldn't even did me like that. But it is what it is. Say, D-Lo said it's not an advantage for the WBC to call it mandatory right now. And I personally can't see it happening. I'm just saying a fantasy thing that could pop up. I ain't tripping on that. But I wouldn't be surprised. Keith did say that they promised him that. And now look at him. He is the mandatory. He just skipped over Boots and that other dude. Boots and the other dude. Okay, D-Lo, I'm dropping the link. What's up, Trey X in the house? He say salute everybody. Bro, you're going to have to watch the beginning again because, dude, you got to get a Patreon going, dude. You got to get a Patreon going. Your work is great. I'm loving it. Salute to Derek Bailey in the house. He say salute. Salute. I believe I dropped the link in there for you, D-Lo. What's going on, my brother?
What's good?
Man, see here just enjoying the fact that I'm surrounded by the people that I like chilling with on my day off. I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, I hate when I miss a show, man. Whether it be because somebody don't do the show or because I end up busy doing something else at the time and forget about it or can't get to my phone or whatever the case may be. But everybody got their stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? That's such is life.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But hey, I was gonna say you was talking about why these guys hated on. In a lot of my videos, if you look at those little storyboards or whatever you call them that I have in the little thumbnails when I put multiple ones in the video,
right?
There's one I put up sometime that say it's Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and at the bottom it says two most hated boxers. You know what I'm saying? Two of the most hated in boxing or something like that.
Right.
And, You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that, man. And people don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I had people say something to me about that and say, well, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, man, them guys, you know, they real popular. They got, you know, fan base, big fans or whatever and all that, big fan bases. But yeah, but until they fight, and while all this stuff is going on, you got certain factions of those fan bases that pretty much don't do nothing but hate on the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude scratches butt. You know what I'm saying? They complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Or anything. You know, just least little thing. They got some kind of, you know, oh man, you know, he should have done it like this or whatever. Or if he'd have done this, and you know, it's always like armchair quarterbacking or Monday morning coaching on how these guys should be maneuvering about in their personal lives, in the media, in their careers, in the ring, just all kind of nonsense instead of just, you know, embracing both guys for getting to where they are and trying to get behind them and help pull for this fight to get made. You know, I mean, there's only so much we can do, but I feel like the hate that, you know what I'm saying, gets put out, or what I perceive as hate, you know what I'm saying, and I think, you know, others do as well. I think sometimes those type of, you know what I'm saying, activities and comments and things like that are some of the things that people who are behind the scenes, who got the capability of making these fights, I think that's some of the stuff that they're hearing and seeing when they go to hollering this nonsense about people ain't gonna buy the fight anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, it's easy to say, well, that's just, you know what I'm saying, you know, they gonna feel how they feel. But I do feel like they pay attention to what's being perpetuated online and what all is out there. So when you hear certain things consistently, you know what I'm saying, come across these airways, and they start to formulate their opinion on, you know, how that translates into dollars and cents or lack thereof, you know, you're towing a line where we could be hurting the fight when we think we're building the fight.
I can see that. I can see that because a lot of cats are making videos talking about how people would just stream them instead of paying for them.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna tell you another thing about the hate thing, man. Like a lot of people, like when it comes to people that are famous, whether it's athletes, you know, radio personalities, TV personalities, actresses, whatever, models, a lot of people have their hangups with them. They may have one or two that they really care a whole lot about, but then they'll have others that they have a lot of hate and disdain for whatever reason. And you got some who just pretty much are just against celebrities and athletes and whatever altogether. And I think some of that is rooted in the, you know, I don't want to call it self-hate, but I'll say self-loathing and the disappointment of not being able to reach or ascertain certain goals that you set for yourself early in life, or things that you set your sights on. Because I mean, it really, most of us, I'll say almost everybody is a failure, or has been a failure at some point in their life. There's been something that they strive for that they didn't reach, and that they never will. You know what I'm saying? If you were, you know what I'm saying, just say for instance, when you were a senior in high school, if your goal was to get to the NBA and you never got there, if you didn't get there, you're not gonna get there at this point. You know what I'm saying? Unless you go buy a ticket. So, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people can't let go of things like that, and they, you know what I'm saying, they project that, those feelings of discontent and things like that toward these athletes or these people who actually made it in life. And that's why they're so quick to like lambaste them when they screw up. You know what I'm saying? Like take somebody like Adrian Broner, not to say that he don't deserve it, because he does more than his fair share. But it's like they're so quick to wish ill will on them and think for things to go worse for them, because they feel like, well, man, they made it. You know what I'm saying? Who are they to mess that up? I couldn't even, you know, make it to the minor leagues in baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wanted to make it to the minor leagues. They should have been better. And speaking of Adrian Broner, you're right. He does make some foolish moves sometimes. That move that he did on the interview where he cut the camera off or whatever, or walked out on the interview, talked crazy about Al Heyman and Floyd. I'm like, why would you bite the hand that feeds you? We haven't seen you in the ring for a long time, and it could be because, you know, the way you acted, the things you're doing. It doesn't it doesn't make me as a fan feel like he's 100% dedicated. I could be tripping, but I'm not seeing the dedication from Adrian Broner. It's almost like he boxing just for money. I haven't heard him say anything about trying to become a champion or nothing like that. What you think about it?
Yeah. Well, now he is saying that he wants to be a champion again, and basically anything less than that, you know what I'm saying? He sees it as, he's not, I guess, as a failure or whatever. I don't know exactly how he worded, but he did say something about being a champion again. And you know what I'm saying? The thing is, we find that 140. You look at the landscape there. If he could actually make 140 and consistently, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep talking about Adrian Broner and a bunch of ills, but let's just put it like this: he has a better chance, in my opinion, at getting a belt at 140 or getting a shot at a belt with Josh Taylor shedding belts, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's shedding a layer of fur or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's a possibility there, but I mean, when you look at the landscape at 147, unless one of these guys and Spence and Crawford becomes undisputed and leaves and vacates all the belts, which it don't seem like that's gonna happen because you know what I'm saying, I don't know. I don't want to speculate because all that is what I just got done saying I'm paying attention to. But it could be, I just say it could be a rematch clause depending on who win the fight, or it could be both ways. So if that's the case, then the belts will still be tied up. But then you got to look at, outside of that, look at all the mandatories that are already in place for the belt. So Broner will have a long road to haul to get to a title shot at 147 unless somebody just gave him one off of, the fact that his name, may bring some money. So I think 140 would be the way to go if he wants a title shot. But I mean, as far as seeing him actually win it, to me, he would have to have some very favorable matchmaking unless he's really turned a corner in terms of his performances in the ring.
Yeah, because not being active in the ring is going to kill him. And even if Spence and Crawford, just saying, we just speculating, even if they both did leave 147, he still has Stanionis and Boots and those new young upcomers coming. That's going to cause him a lot of problems. I can agree with you on seeing him go down to 140. I don't really think that he should have been at 147 in the first place. I always felt like it was a mistake. Wasn't big enough. He can gain weight and everything. I just didn't feel like his power transferred up to 147 like that. And he really ran into a wall when he fought Maidana. Maidana really put I think he took something from Adrian in that fight.
You know what? I saw that too, man. But I'll be honest. When I watched, I was one of those people that had grew tired of Adrian Broner's mouth. I felt like he barely won the Paulie Malignaggi fight. It could have went the other way. Could have been a draw. I kind of one of those people that kind of just felt like the dude wasn't working as hard as he was at trying to promote himself, which I understand. From a business standpoint, it did him a lot of good, but he kind of flamed out, shortly thereafter. But I will say, watching that Maidana fight, I was, kind of like, yep, this is how that goes. But the second half of that fight, which I really didn't appreciate until I watched the fight a second time, maybe even a third time. But the way Broner fought in the second half of that fight, I didn't see him, his his trajectory just tapering off the way it did after that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he finished that fight, usually when a guy, even in a losing effort, when a guy finishes a fight like that, it usually doesn't result in a bunch of poor performances thereafter. I think one thing I think really hurt him was the fact that, and maybe he wouldn't have won, but the fact that he didn't get the opportunity to run it back with Maidana and Floyd stepping in and, taking his opponent. And, then that became a rematch and all that. And I just think that him not getting the opportunity to even try to right that wrong kind of affected him adversely. But at the same time, the decisions he made outside of the ring and, you know, things like that also play a part in it. So, you know, who knows how it would have went. He could have got stopped in a rematch versus McDonald. We just don't know.
Right. It's all speculation. Gil Cole said Regis how you say his name? I can't even talk tonight.
Prograis.
And AB. Didn't Progress call him toilet water? When they was talking back and forth before, I heard that.
I don't know, but I know they were talking about potentially fighting each other some while back. It was more Prograis trying to get the fight, and Broner was like coming off a layoff, so it wasn't really a fight that made sense. But it seemed like they were kind of, you know, joking back and forth. I don't even think it was really, you know, any you know, venom or anything like that. It was kind of more of a, you know, like, hey, if you want it, you can get it. But, you know, I like that fight, though. I mean, Prograis is another guy sitting at 140 trying to get a title shot, but it looks like he's on the outside looking in. It don't look like he has a clear pathway to a title shot, and he's just as deserving, or to me, more deserving than a lot of them guys that are there. And deserve aren't words I throw around when it comes to boxing, but I feel like it's fitting in this situation.
I feel you on that. And looking at if Adrian stays at 140, as Derek Bailey stating, oh, Trey X, I haven't blocked anybody, man. To be honest with you, I don't know what's going on with Eric R, but he's not blocked. I haven't blocked anybody. I don't have anybody. He shouldn't even be able to be blocked because he got a wrench, but I haven't blocked anything or anybody on here. I don't know what's going on with Eric R stuff.
My bad.
Oh, no, you good. So, yeah, if AB stay at 140, I can see a lot going on there. If he's dedicated and he's trying to turn that corner, it's a lot of action that can be at 140. He could him and his name alone could blow 140 up. I mean, blow it up pretty good. You fighting Adrian Broner, and if he comes out and he fights and start getting wins up under his belt, some decent good wins. I'm not talking about some close hairs. I'm talking about some good wins where you can start calling him the Can Man again. I can see a lot of action because, you know, Haney's gonna be moving up at some point. Haney's gonna be moving up. I think 135 he barely making it because he's still growing. It seems like. So it's a lot of action that can go there for Adrian Broner. I'm hoping he can turn the corner, man, because I hate to see such a talent take so many back steps like he's being.
Yeah, same here, man. You know, I'm a very sympathetic person. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you know, people getting second chances and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, because we all misstep from time to time. But, you know, I just hate to see somebody, you know, self-sabotage. That's the thing that really kind of gets to me, when somebody, you know, kind of just can't get out of their own way. And that's what bothers me when it comes to AB. You know, not only when it comes to his preparation sometimes or how he fights, but also the things he let come out of his mouth. And at some of the, you know what I'm saying, worst times. It's like, you know, you got to have people in your life that you vent to, you know what I'm saying, that they just, you know, that they just listen to you and they keep it to themselves. So utilize those people when you want to, you know, say certain things. I feel like a lot of times, and I don't really want to try to censor a grown man, but I'm just saying sometimes you got to think about some of the stuff you say out in the public and the effects that it could have, and, you know, perception that you're putting out there. So, you know, I feel like stuff like that doesn't really help his case, but, you know, to each his own.
Right.
Hey, MZ, you see what they typing in the chat about Eric R?
I haven't blocked him. That's what I was telling Trey. I haven't blocked him or anything like that. I don't know what's going on with the brother.
Okay, yeah, you must say something about that fell off, because I just wanted to make sure you saw that. I didn't know if you saw it.
Yeah, because you know, I'm like, nobody can block him because he got a wrench. But because I saw what Trey X was saying that he was shadow banned, and he didn't have his wrench. So I started thinking, okay, we probably got a troll in here, but I haven't seen his name pop up yet. You know, let me go look. Let me look because I know.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
This is crazy.
Trucker Billy.
Are we talking about? Yeah, he said walking around with a trucker belly. This dude ain't serious, not living the life. He talking about Adrian Broner. He also said, yeah, Broner called him shit, so Progress called him toilet water. Okay, yes, that's what I was talking about. So yeah, I wasn't the only one to see it. Gil Cole say Figueroa gonna beat the brakes off of AB. I don't think he gonna let that happen to himself. I think at the most point he got heart.
You know the risk, the big risk there. I mean, there's a lot of ways that fight can play out, but the one element that really stands out, and I'm sure I ain't the first to say it, is Figueroa, although doesn't have the greatest of techniques, the greatest of form, but he's good at his punch output, keeping a high output, and AB is good at letting his opponent get off, and he try to pick and pot shot and posture and all that. So depending on who the judges are and what they like, I mean, Figueroa could throw a bunch of punches and be hitting the gloves and shoulders and anything but scoring blows. But at the same time, if AB keeping his hands at home and just trying to pot shot and admire his work when he land a good shot and all that, he can find himself down a lot of rounds early on. So, I mean, that's like, to me, the worst case scenario for AB is that, he lets Figueroa get out to a good start and, throw a bunch of punches, double him in terms of punch output, whether they're landing or not. And he's doing enough to win the rounds. I think that's, probably like the worst start that he can have to this fight. And it'll, then it puts him in a situation where he has to do something, drastic to get back in the fight.
Trey X said that Figueroa is tailor-made for Broner. But I want to see Broner letting his hands go again. Like you said, he can't be sitting there being defensive and pot shotting, thinking that's going to win the fight, especially if the dude is putting out a high output. He's going to touch you a few times. You're not going to block everything and dodge everything. He's going to touch you.
And see, that's what I was saying about technique and form. Like Figueroa, he's there to be opened up and to be hit, and his output should work against him against a technician like Broner. But at the same time, if Broner's just sitting there with his hands in his pocket, throwing like 2 or 3 more punches per round than I throw, during his fight, it ain't gonna bode well for him. But I think it's the right opponent at the right time. But it's at the same time, you don't know about the inactivity, and not only the inactivity, like Broner's been going through it during the time between his last fight and now. Like, man, he done. If you follow him on, social media, which I don't know if I do, but I was seeing a bunch of stuff that people were posting about him. And it was like, man, it was just all a bunch of weird pictures and all kind of just crazy stuff he had going on, a bunch of stuff he was saying and doing, and man, it was, you just don't know how that stuff. How do you push all that out of your head on fight night and just get back to it when you haven't been doing it in so long? And then last time out, man, he didn't look good at all against that guy that the Russell kid stopped. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember was it Santiago or something like that. Broner didn't look good against that guy to me, and I felt like he was lucky to win that fight.
Yeah. Good evening, fellas. This is
What's up, man? What's up?
What's up? Yeah, this is Eric R. It's not a troll account. I don't know what's going on. But as far as like AB goes, I think that something is damaging him. I think he's like shell shocked, and I think that that's like the main issue. And he got to get like a sports therapist or something like that, and work on something that way. I think every time he gets in the ring and faces any type of adversity, that he always goes back mentally to that Maidana fight and shuts down.
Yeah, he
So,
needs to go back to how he finished that McDonald fight. If he fights everybody
yeah,
the way he finished that fight, he do a lot better than how he's doing.
I agree. I think that to me was his best performance, even though it was a loss, because I think you got a chance to see the real Adrian Broner, but something in him makes him like not want to ever relive that night again, and he relives it, I think. But I agree. I think if he could tap into how he finished that fight, he probably would only have about 2 losses. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say. I'm gonna jump back in the chat. I just wanted to see if I could get on. But thank you for having me.
Hey man, don't be short. I'll get off of you and MZ Cook, man.
Well, nah, you good. For some reason it won't let me type anything. But
Well, if you need to stay on there so you can your views can be heard, your vantage point can be, you know what I'm saying? If you got time,
right.
I'll get out the way.
You good, fam. I got a few more minutes. I work early.
Yeah, I do too. I'm hard headed. I'm always doing this nonsense, and to know I had to get up around 4 in the morning.
Right. But what else y'all cooking on?
Hey, what you think about what you think about Haney Camboso, man? You think they're gonna fight? You think that fight gonna actually happen next?
I think
No,
it.
Haney came out and said it's capped, but I think that's gonna be next.
No, I think they're going to, because nothing's going on with Lomachenko, and plus, if you did bring Loma in after the time that he's been out, I don't think that'd be a good look for him. I think that it'll probably be Devin and Kambosos, and I think that they'll throw Loma in there with somebody else in order for him to get active, and then they'll set something up. But yeah, I definitely don't see anybody else getting in there. Between that, they're going to try to get that Kambosos fight out of the way, honor that contract. But they're going to have to. I don't know if they strap to what he signed, or because that money's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big loss if they're hamstrung to that contract. Ain't nobody trying to pay him that much for the same result.
Hey, Camboso gonna keep finding himself in that situation because you remember that's what happened with the Teofimo Lopez and Camboso fight. They were supposed to be fighting and on Triller, and Triller came to the realization that they were about to lose a bunch of money, and they basically ended up forfeiting millions not to put the fight on.
You're right. I wasn't even thinking about that. You're right, though. Yeah, I could see Bob trying to finagle something. You know.
Well, I think with Loma, I think as far as him and Haney, I think Loma passed up on. He missed his opportunity when he had the best shot at beating Devin Haney.
Yeah.
I think he should have, and I'm not gonna say he would have won, but I think he had a better shot then. Hey, you know, that's been like 2 or 3 years, and you know what I'm saying, Haney's only gotten better, stronger, you know what I'm saying, and he's gotten older, and he's having inactivity, injuries, and this, that, and the other. I just feel like now it's an uphill battle for him versus Haney. I don't, you know what I'm saying, I don't even know that Lomachenko would welcome that fight, to be honest.
No, yeah, I agree. But how was Loma? If do you believe that Loma has shoulder issues?
I mean, I think with his age, I'm just, when I say injuries, I'm talking about just ailments and just going on. I don't believe that shoulder. I mean, maybe he had something done after the fight because of something that happened in the fight, or maybe he had some kind of little nagging issue going into the fight. But when I watched the fight, I don't feel like his shoulder was the reason he couldn't, he didn't win that Teofimo Lopez fight. And I also, I got on screen record. Well, I actually made a video about it before the fight. when
Mhm.
Lomachenko said that he was coming into that fight feeling the best he had ever felt in his career or something like that. You know,
I
he
remember
basically
that.
said, yeah, he said that he was gonna see, we were gonna see the real Lomachenko, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada, and then he went out there and looked at the guy for 8 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tio was putting a lot of pressure on him, and
Right.
damn, I agree with you guys saying that I don't think Loma will welcome that fight, and why would he? Isn't this the same guy that he dropped the belt to not fight?
Right.
So, any way you look at
No,
it,
I said I don't think he would welcome it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm agreeing with you, and I'm saying I don't see a reason for him to welcome that fight at all anyway, because he didn't want to fight Devin from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
So now he ended up on a merry-go-round, and they bringing him right back to the situation, Mr. So-called Matrix.
Right.
So
Well,
go ahead.
Bob. Bob Arum. He gonna feed him to one of them. It's either going to be Shakur or it's going to be Devin. Whichever one he feel like he can keep long term, I think is going to win that sweepstakes. Because that's the seal of approval. A win over Lomachenko solidifies you as the next guy. You know.
I can see that way of thinking over at Top Rank. I can actually see that way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think he would do it with Haney, being that Haney's not the guy that's signed with him in some long-term type deal. But then again, if you know how Bob does business, and not just Bob, a lot of them, he's probably gonna put something in that contract that if you beat Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying, you automatically, you know what I'm saying, locked in for another 2 fights or something
Right.
like that. Because
He
if you look at, like I say all the time, if you look at over there at the Zone, almost every guy that has fought AJ since the Zone launch, they kept fighting over there on the Zone. So it's almost like you have to wonder if these guys get these opportunities, they have to basically give up a lot to get the opportunity.
And there's a reason why he's shutting down any type of notion for Shakur to try to get undisputed at 130. There ain't nobody else there. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That he's trying to protect at 130. I think he bringing Shakur up for a reason. He's trying to put pressure on him to come up to 135 for a reason.
yeah,
Well, he'll open the door for those other guys behind him. He gets Shakur up to 135. Oscar Valdez back into play. You got these other guys that are down one division that are top ranked fighters that come up. You may have a couple guys at 135 with top rank that may want to go down to 130. So you just never know. So it's all, it's all about, I guess for lack of better, phrase, is all about the chessboard. You know what I'm saying? Putting as many pieces in the right places at the right times. Even when I think about Lomachenko, to me, I think like a lot of the stuff that Bob was saying about Crawford, if you really look at look at stuff objectively, a lot of that to me, I feel like applied to Lomachenko, but he pushed it off on Crawford because Crawford was the guy that was about to lead. Because you think about, man, Lomachenko fights in these small ballrooms when he fights. He doesn't fight in the big arena at Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? He's never been on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of things that just didn't translate well with all the promotion and line and fake stats they were putting up for Lomachenko.
Changing his record.
Right. None of that ever really translated to him becoming a real star. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think I would feed him to one of these young guys.
Right. They even tried springboarding him off of Terrence Crawford. Every time Terrence Crawford's name was brought into something, they used that as like a free commercial
for Lomachenko.
For Lomo. Yep.
the reason they can't make him a star because he's just not one.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. I believe that if all those youngsters were in the same division, Devin, Shakur, man, they'd beat Loma up, man.
Yeah,
They're gonna beat Loma up.
It's impossible to package, like when you spend all this time trashing Floyd Mayweather, saying that skills doesn't mean anything if you don't have power, and then you try to repackage a European fighter the same way, the damage is already done. You know what I mean? If he don't have any type of knockout power to grab the attention of the casuals, you ain't gonna sell with him.
Well put. That boy Gil Cole say OG popping another bottle of that Stella. You're right. I know I had went on my mic had went out for a second. Everybody was like, where I went. I'm here. Trust me. So we talking Gil Cole. Marlo and I talked to him. Okay, they talking about this old bet thing. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep on publicly shaming him. It's sad that we gotta go through something like that. Come on, my brother. Pay your bill. Pay your bill.
Mm-hmm.
Do the right thing. And pay your bill. Did Trey X say, OG, I got abducted for letting Eric R break through? Who abducted you? What happened?
What?
No, he said you got abducted because you went silent.
Oh. Nah. I was getting me some more wine, man. And this train wreck and Oreo got me kind of.
You gotta balance it out, huh?
Man, I'm shook up a little bit. Man, I'm just happy to be here tonight.
Hey, at least you ain't get hold of none of that Magilla Gorilla.
Oh my goodness. I was sitting here like when you put that up, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, I gotta get some of that. Then you come back and say, I just made that. I'm like, oh dude, why you playing with me? Why you playing with me?
Hey brothers, I definitely gotta get off, bro. But thank y'all for letting me cook, man. I'm gonna catch the replay, man, and I'm definitely gonna be back.
Man, thank you for stopping through, Eric. Get you some rest, man, and have an enjoyable day at work as best you can.
Right. Hashtag pay your bill, bro.
That's right. Pay
Hey,
your
peace,
bill.
man. Be easy.
Easy.
Pay your bill. Oh, just to let you guys know, we got a new single coming out. You know, we did drop all day, and now we're going to be coming out with a new single called High Noon. I know y'all checked out. I don't know if y'all saw it, but, you know, at the beginning, I got the big picture of what the single cover going to look like. But we having fun, enjoying myself. I hope you enjoying yourself. What is it I'm thinking about? Oh, D-Lo, you mind if I run the track for about 2 minutes?
Hey, go ahead and do your thing, man.
Well, hashtag pay your bill. Where you at? This is how I feel when I bet with Trey X. This track make me feel like I'm going to get that bag. Pay your bill. King of Kings. Come on, man. Pay your bill. Master Rod and Calls is working on a new project. King in the house. Salute. He say, so that's what we doing? Man, you got a hashtag. Pay your bill. Pay your bill. Just pay your bill. I feel you, G.O. Handle your business. Man, let me go ahead and say it. D-Lo say we paying bills. King of Kings, my brother. You in the house. Come on, slide in here. Holler at me, man. Maybe we can get something worked out. Get this dark cloud away from over your head. I'm putting my hands out to help you. Won't you let me help you? Say, man, what y'all think about this track? Gil Cole say, King of Kings boxing, straightening things out, homie. Straighten things out. So Gil Cole has announced to me that he pulled number one in Champ Ross last week. Number one. Can anybody do something about that? Anybody got something to say? Appreciate that, Gil. Say that track dope. Hashtag pay your bill. Pay your bill. Can I get my money? Pay your bill. Just pass my bag, man, please. Pay your bill. Knowing that you owe somebody, hey, pay your bill. I mean, I feel like a winner right about now. Gil Cole. I mean, I feel like a winner right about now. This track make you feel it. Trey X said, don't worry. I'm taking down a dinosaur this week. Okay. But Gil Cole said he's firm, standing tall and ain't giving up nothing. Number one. He was the first one to come up in here. He let it be known. You know how we do. Can't really talk to you below 5. That's just what it is. So D-Lo, I see you back. You got the right you got your device together now.
I ended up having to come back on the other one. That one wasn't charged up enough. It's all good. Hopefully I'll be all right for a minute.
Okay, so what do you actually use?
Oh, I'm on my cell phone, but I got another cell phone too. I be using my work cell phone sometimes. So but it didn't have enough charge on it, so I just got back on my phone.
I just sit right in front of the computer.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We got my brother in the house, King of Kings. See, I ain't even say King Folks this time. Oh, but he got King of King Folks. What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Why is the brothers giving you such a hard time, man? What's really happening?
Oh, man, nothing really happened. I'm the king of ridicule because I ain't pay this nigga. I banned him and I stiffed his ass.
Oh,
So,
no.
All of it is due. All of it is just due. Ain't nobody out of pocket. They all giving me what I guess I deserve and shit. But man, damn, I didn't even turn the show on and I see my shit. I'm like, damn, I ain't even in the show yet. I'm getting clowned.
So you gonna pay your bill?
Man.
Man,
Trey Finell was talking to me about it. I got to, so this shit'll stop.
we all stand up. We all stand up, folks.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We all keep it real 100. All the way across the line. They gotta go down to the bets too. That
Yeah, I
way,
got irritated with him, and that was a no excuse. That's just what I did. Regardless, it was wrong, but we'll see.
nah,
I
man.
already lied to Trey X one time about it, so I ain't lying no more. I ain't gonna say nothing until I do it.
I feel you on that. We gonna have to chop it up in the back cave later. So,
yes, sir.
So we can figure it out. Cause I don't like to see somebody on the Block family going through all the bricks that's getting dropped on you right now. Cause they getting dropped. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry to ruin your show, man, and have that type of causing that type of conversation, man. That's on me.
Man, come on now. We family around here. It don't but ruin the show. But can't nothing ruin the show.
All right, I was just making sure, because, hey, and the beat was fire, bro. You know what I mean? That shit was nice to come into, just to let you know.
Okay, because I'm going to bring it back real quick and say, pay your bill. Come on, man. Pay your bill. All we want is our money, pay your bill. I might even turn this bitch into a song called Pay Your Bill. Aha! Gil Cole said we gonna see. Truth is, it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. We're not gonna let something like a little old tiny bit fracture the family in no kind of way. So, King of Kings, what you got on boxing?
Nathan, man, there's a bunch of innuendos and shit. I'm trying to ignore all this Thurman coming out of woodwork talking. It's just damn. It's just
who?
Huh?
Who you say?
Thurman, this Thurman shit. They talking about him getting ranked and all this different stuff, and I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck it has to do with anything. I hope it don't have to. I hope it's not what I think it is, but I don't know. So, but I wouldn't even be thinking about if the motherfuckers would talk about it if the fight was fucking announced or at least some kind of updates. But I put it like this: I saw Crawford talking on Showtime and stuff, and I'm still optimistic this shit about to go down, man. So I'm not even gonna let that shit distract me.
You want me to tell you what the problem is? A lot of people came out and lied, right? Like a lot of people want to know every little detail about what's going on in these negotiations because they want to be a part of it. They want to be able to come out and argue these talking points about the negotiations and everything like that. And then at the same time, when Spence came out and said that he was wrong, he shouldn't have put certain things out in the public that they were gonna handle it, behind the scenes like they're supposed to, and of course I'm paraphrasing. But and a lot of them, once Spence said that, a lot of that's what he need to do. That's what they should have. Yeah, that's the way they got to do it. But because information ain't forthcoming, everything they hear from anybody becomes sources. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes the new talking points, and because they want to be in a negotiation. And so every time you turn around, it's more and more. It's just like a bunch of just unnecessary chatter, and they. So it's like on one hand they saying, and I'll say we because I'm a fan too, and I'm paying attention to what's going on. So on one hand, we as fans are saying, yeah, we want them to go behind the scenes and take care of business behind closed doors. But on the other hand, we want to know what's going on because the fight ain't announced yet. And we're concerned about what the problem is and what the issue is. But knowing the issue isn't going to help resolve it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we got to have something because they're not giving us anything. But at the same time, many of us said that's what we want them to do. It's just a matter that the matter is that the fight hasn't been announced yet. And I think everybody figured that if they actually were negotiating and working on it, that by now, certainly an announcement would have been made. And at least an announcement saying, hey, we've agreed in principle, this is where things stand, and we're just ironing out venue, this, that, and that. But none of that's come out. And what's crazy is we look at Jamel Charlo and that Tim Tszyu, they ain't fighting until January, but they've already announced that fight. So they're going to give them an opportunity to actually, build that fight and actually turn it into something. But here, this big fight that, you know, is probably going to be a lot more expensive to attend, definitely going to be pay-per-view. And if it's going to be announced, it's like, okay, at what point is it going to be announced and how far out from the actual event? So that's something to think about as well.
You make a good ass point, because a lot of people is grasping for straw. Because look, a lot of people's channels and their popularity is based on talking about this shit. And speaking of sources, I did, somebody pointed this out to me. I don't watch this shit, man. Fuck it, I'll say his name. I don't watch Blue Blood. And somebody pointed out to me, this nigga had in his thing sources, and he had his own fucking name, bro. Like, these niggas making up the stories they self and sourcing they self. So
yeah,
it's
that ought to be every story should be that.
Yeah, man. So I think, like you said, I mean, I think what's fucking me up, because, you know, dropping another name, Dante's Boxing Nation, like, I always have been able to rely on his stories, and he's bringing up shit, and I'm like, I don't necessarily know that's fucking true. Like, so what everybody does is they copycat off people's things. And so, like I said, an individual like Blue Blood be like, oh, Terrence Crawford wants $20 million. I'm like, nigga, you don't know that. What the fuck? Where'd you get that information from? But people hear that in passing, and they trying to have some topic, and everybody wants to be first, but nobody want to be right. And that's what's fucking everything up, man, because half this shit is bullshit, man. It ain't got nothing to do with anything. But these channels don't have nothing to talk about. They talk about the same 4 fighters every fucking day. So they have to make narratives so that they can have content.
I feel you on that. And just to change, he said sources. Gil Cole said, my sources telling me you need to pay your bill. Oh my gosh, it will not end today, I see. But dang, I lost my train of thought. Who says that? Oh, Trey X. Because I heard somebody's blinker on. They turned and signal. What was I about to say? I can't even remember. I was going to piggyback off something you said, King of Kings, but I can't remember what it was. It'll come back to me. It will come back to me.
All good. What you got locked and loaded over there?
You mean rolled up, locked and
Yes,
loaded? Sir. Oh man, I got some train wreck and some Oreo.
Yeah, he was trying to get hold of some of that Magilla Gorilla, but he ain't know where to find it.
Man, that's because D-Lo made it up. Had me over here really thinking I was finna go get some of that. I'm like, man, I gotta go get some of that.
That nigga D-Lo, that's fucked up. That nigga MC was all excited. Oh, Magilla Gorilla, that sound like so great. Nah, nigga. Imaginary.
Yeah, he shot me back to my childhood days. I started talking about watching the cartoon and everything. You know, I'm finna call my girl and be like, hey man, you know where to get some Magilla Gorilla?
Yeah, you get it from the same dude that be having that Marmaduke.
Man, leave me alone with that.
Yeah, wow. He got that Marmaduke.
Then he had the nerve to put a gas tank behind you, like, yeah, it's some gas too. Then he gonna come on here and say, I don't even smoke. I just made that shit up. That's how stories get started.
Hey, I ain't doing no worse than you can't doing talking about the Spit Crawford fight.
Yeah, you went fishing with that one. You hooked me quick.
Hey, just throw it out there and see if anything bites. That's all they be doing. Hey, you see how I threw that video I threw out there? They had folks out there just pushing the screen trying to get it to play something.
Yeah, you clowning. I see you got some jokes to end. But I want to say again publicly, I've been betting on these fights. And I get my information from the Oracle, Trey X, guy that can call the fight and call the fight, meaning a bet. He got to give you,
I said message.
He man, I think you should start a Patreon, bro. I really do. I support it. And anybody that's putting money down, if you want good information, something that you can understand, because he giving me information, like I said, that you wouldn't even, I never would have thought of. He break down the fighters. He let you know, the amateur stuff, what their last fight was, all kind of stuff. He give me all kind of information, and I think it's worth paying for. And if you a gambler or you like to bet, I think that his Patreon page would be a good one. yes, we have taken some losses, but I've had more wins, more bigger wins than I have had losses. So he to me, he's a good pick to roll with if you're trying to figure out who to bet on these boxing games. It might even help your champ Ross. Had to give that plug. That's true. That's straight up 100 too, dude. That's straight up 100.
I agree 100%.
He hasn't steered me wrong yet. All the information he's giving me has been grand. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because it's gonna be some clown running around trying to do what he doing, looking and gonna be looking dumb and stupid. Since we chilling so hard, what you finna say, King?
So there all he is, fucking The Wire. Nigga, fucking he beat him hands down. They had a dude, they had a guy, I remember picks with Gibbs or something. Well, I don't know, one of these niggas. It's a few dudes that they be having channels, but because they be taking, because they be missing so many picks because they be over biased. Like they don't pick based on, certain shit. I got fucked up this weekend off that dog bowl pick. I should have maybe thought that he was due to win a fight, but I didn't. I picked against his ass.
Hey, you right about that dude to win one because the last two he won, I think they were both gifts. Now he done got one. He earned this one a little more than the other two.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is if X sent me a bet on it, we probably won. Oh shoot! Tonight's a Mega Million thing. I gotta look and see who became 800 million, 900,000.
I ain't looked at my ticket from 2 weeks ago. I got them laying on this little table right in front of me. I was getting ready to look them up when I realized you were live.
D-Lo, you remind me of me. I'd be buying them fucking tickets. Them motherfuckers sit there for weeks before I be like, oh shit, I need to check these bitches.
Hey, I pay my bet though.
Yeah, that's true, but yeah, I don't pay mine. You feel me? Call me
fired.
Call me the no debt collector. How about that, motherfuckers?
Mr. Bill Collector. I'm gonna start calling y'all some Mr. Bill Collector.
That was very hurtful.
How did you get your tickets, King?
I had to I stay like close to Georgia, so like I damn near live in Georgia, so it's only like a 10-minute drive to go over there and get tickets.
They gave them to you on credit?
Nah, I had cash today. I traded this girl's
spending y'all some money on lottery ticket, mess around and hit for a couple.
That's right, man. And I bought $50 lotto tickets.
Still won't pay the man.
It's
not about means. It's about will.
It's about who?
Don't pay the man.
It's about means. It's not about means. It's about will.
The will to what? Not pay?
No, yeah. That's not. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Y'all got me looking bad out here in these streets. That's cool.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't have that kind of will. I'm weak because as soon as I have to pay something, I'm going to get it out the way. You probably be letting the bills come in, wait till they turn pink and pay those hoes.
Nah, I don't have that problem.
Oh, you pay those bills. You just don't pay bets.
See, there's a bill and a bet. See, y'all change it to pay your bill. Should be pay your debt, which is different.
No, after a certain point, an unpaid bill becomes debt.
Exactly. They the same thing. Like that cartoon. I'm just a bill.
Now you in debt to that man.
A lonely old bill sitting up on Capitol Hill. Can I just get paid?
Hey, he ain't got the juice running on you, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Trey said you got yourself looking bad. Some folks just ain't solid. So says Gil Cole.
The Welch King.
I haven't heard that one in a long time. You welching on the bed. He reneging. Come on, man.
Yeah, reneging on it.
Fucked up, y'all. All right.
Huh?
Hey, y'all know those commercials where they be talking about for just $1 a day, You know what I'm saying? Just a couple for the cost of a cup of coffee, you can feed a kid from such and such and such.
Oh yeah.
Long as this man owing this man, if he'd have just paid him like 50 cents a day, he'd have already paid him off by now.
I'm almost afraid to. How much is the bet? King, how much is the debt, man? Oh, he done went silent on me. He giving me a silent treatment now. We supposed to be better than that. Come on, man. How much is the bet? Somebody tell me, how much is the bet?
I think he said 50. He said somebody spent $50 on lottery till I guess it's $50. I don't forgot what it was.
Oh my goodness. This like the little brother that like, you owe me 50 cents. And he just like, no, I just ain't gonna pay it. You gotta beat him 100 pounds. Trey Exton went to the English, the Queen's money. You owe 100 pounds, sir. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and drop a track. We stunned. I paid the bet to make this. I mean the bill, the debt. Man, this is crazy.
One, two, we got that heat for you. 3, 4, you really want more. 5, 6, dropping nothing but hits. 7, 8, wait. We gon' do it. 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 We gon' do it.
I hear they out there looking for me. Tell me where they at. Not here for a second, man. I guess that was cap. Got myself a bag of flies. About to make a cash. Niggas talking about the jewelry, man. I'm on that real estate. They don't pop their pussy for niggas that they don't know. I'm all into the spots. Pussy popping for show. Niggas getting upset and I can see it in their face. I'm in my chill mode. Don't make me have to catch your case.
1, 2, we got that heat for you. 3, 4, really want more. 5, 6, dropping nothing but hits. 7, 8, wait. We gon' do it. 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 They tell me I'm belligerent when I'm inebriated. I tell them that I'm calm, but they always want to debate it. I get hella faded and niggas act like they hate it. Up and pass, nigga. Bitching about how they waited. I got my drink and smoke, I'm laid back, feeling elated. Looking in the sky while my pupils is dilated. Check my lotto numbers from earlier, cause I played it. Then I hear my song on the station. They got me to be made. 1, 2, we got that heat for you. 3, 4, really want more. 5, 6, dropping nothing but hits. 7, 8, wait. We gon' do it. 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 We gon' do it.
I'm from the dirty south, yeah, we getting money too. Don't give a fuck about what these other motherfuckers do. I'm from a city that is wild as the fucking zoo. Houston, Texas, we ghetto boys and we bang too. Shout out to the south side and peace to the north too. Southwest, we in this bitch. A-League, what it do? I take off like a Houston Rocket. Got bros, not partners. All my little cousins told choppers, I'm such a rock star. These hoes love me. It's the league we start vibing. They see me being a full-time player. You just part-timing. I'm lit like a big more heat than a furnace. Light 'em up with the quickness like my big brother Ernest. Doing my thing, hit my Dougie on these niggas. Bubba Sparks, hell yeah, it's getting ugly for these niggas. I'm so Texas player parlaying on another level. So this is my best friend. I've been through setbacks and failures. And tell you those ass friends, they can get into. I'm on my grind called state of the art, fool. Yeah, snap back on backwards on tilt. My nigga, I'm so cool. Flawless victory. Oh, tell them what they do.
1, 2, we got that heat for you. 3, 4, really want more. 5, 6, dropping nothing but hits. 7, 8, wait. We gon' do it. 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 We gon' do it.
That boy D-Lo say 5-6, we gonna pay our bets. That boy Trey X with the wait. I guess King it's King of Kin folks tonight. I guess King of Kin folks said he subscribed to that old school saying, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke. Is that what we going for around here? The old if I owe you, you're not broke type thing?
That's right. You a very rich man. I'm holding that for you, big homie. I got
you. This is the best. This is the best. So, I'm thinking, like D-Lo said, you pay in installments. Will he take installments? Oh man. So you pull back your bed like Ryan Garcia be pulling back in fights. I'm gonna pay everybody and don't pay nobody. Oh no, we done lost King Kinfolk. No, don't tell me that's what happened.
Yeah, he just pulled out. You said it. He pulled out like Ryan.
Oh my gosh. He said that's about 120 USD. I'm sure. 120.51 in American money is the official debt. Dang! Where did 51 cents come from? It's a mad.
It was in Great Britain pounds.
Say, what'd you say? Can I ask some MMA boxing questions? If not, that's fine. I don't really know too much about MMA. They did more boxing questions all day. Yeah, we can ask boxing questions all day. I got some of the best minds that talk boxing. The Voice of Reason, Trey X, Social Sciences. Marlo got great points on boxing. I think I'm in the right spot. Once again, I'm putting together a song for the Block fam. An anthem, a banger. We're going to do it like that. Dustin Diamond was the best boxer of all time, real talk. Dustin Diamond? OG, and it was for the Wilder versus Fury. Wait a minute, too. Wilder would be ashamed to have a fan like that. Dang, the Wilder Fury 3 fight was a minute ago. Man, that's crazy. Mr. Moe says, I have a sparring partner, but I'm just curious if it's possible to actually learn and improve with online learning. I think the best learning when it comes to a physical contact sport, such as boxing, you need to actually be doing it. I don't see how you can really learn online. Online boxing? Oh, that must be something new.
Maybe it just means actually studying, other fighters by watching film or something. Maybe.
Oh well, you could pick up a lot from that. Watching old fights. I'm sure you could pick up a lot from that film study.
Watching technique. It's an old fella that be on Facebook, man. I can't remember what his name is, and I wish I could. I think I shared a couple of his videos in my Facebook group a while back, but he actually shows, like, he'll just show like one punch at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll just show what he considers the right way to throw a jab, and you know what I'm saying, he'll just do it over and over and over, and you know what I'm saying, and then he might have another video showing how to throw a left hook, or and showing head movement or whatever, just different things.
Oh, right, dude.
Yeah, kind of like he does like a little tutorial almost, but it's a little bit at a time. And you know what I'm saying, stuff like that could help somebody who just really just trying to get better on, you know what I'm saying, learning different techniques and the proper way to do things. But I guess ultimately it's probably up to the person that has to do what's comfortable for them, though.
Yeah, I can see that. Trey X said Chocolatito learned from just watching boxing on television.
Yep, there you go.
That's film study. Oh, we got him back.
Hey,
got him back.
let me say something about that film study thing. It's off topic, but I found it real interesting. I stumbled across this last night. I don't really watch a lot of NFL, but I do, like a lot of guys that be fresh out of college, I kind of keep up with what's going on with them because, I'm a big college football fan.
Okay.
So I was seeing that Kyler Murray, he had got a new contract. You know what I'm talking about, right? Quarterback of the Cardinals.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I haven't watched
well,
football.
he a young dude. You know what I'm saying? I think he like in his third year or something. But he got a big contract, a new contract, right? He the starting quarterback. He got a new contract, but they put language in his contract that basically he has to watch. I can't remember the number. I want to say it's like 20 hours of film a month, or maybe or 5 hours a week or something like it. It's a certain number that he gotta watch a film, and he got a tablet that he has to watch it on. He can't be doing, he can't be browsing on his phone or doing nothing else during that time. And it's a requirement that, what I'm saying, for him to do that, it affects how much it affects his money. Like if he don't do that, he loses a certain percentage of his money, you know what I'm saying, or it could void the contract or something like that. It's crazy. But I thought about that when you was talking about, you know what I'm saying, film study, watching film and stuff.
Man, well, when you think of it like that, they actually, why wouldn't you want to learn?
Right. I mean, hey, and you gonna pay me extra money to do it? I wouldn't look at it like I lose X amount of money if I don't do it. I would look at it like I'm making X amount of money for doing what I should already be doing. Exactly. But Jamarcus Russell, who was the #1 pick years and years ago out of LSU, that's one thing that he got caught was his coaches sent him home with a bunch of blank, I don't know if it was DVDs at the time or blank cassette VHS tapes, because they had suspected that he wasn't watching film. So they sent him home with all the, tape over the weekend, and they asked him about him that following, when they came back and asked him what he thought of him, and he told them, you know what I'm saying, yeah, he learned a lot from the film and this, that, and the other. So that's how he got busted, not watching film.
Wow.
Crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, that is. That's just straight dumb. Trey X said, I said chocolate, not chocolatito. My bad. I'll be talking too fast and reading too slow, or vice versa. It's like writing. When I write, my mind be going so fast, and when I look at what I wrote, I'm missing a lot of words.
Yeah, Trey do that too. I think everybody does that when they read the comments, trying to get onto the next comment. He got me on something last night, and I was like, that ain't what I said.
Yeah. Eddie Moe said, I did kickboxing for 5 years, but I can't afford to do the boxing classes, so I just spar with people who do boxing classes and practice on a homemade bag and speed bag. But shoot, keep on doing your thing, man. I don't know if you're trying to become something, but let us know what it becomes of.
Hey, where are you at? What are you in the U.S. or somewhere else? I forgot his name.
Aiden Moe, it looked like. Trey X is teaching tonight. He say Joe Frazier started with the homemade bag in the backyard. He said, I'll rewatch all my sparring matches after and analyze them. That's a good move there. The man that can call it all. Frogs, fish, even a whale I saw sitting on the beach listening to the fight, smoking a pipe. Trey X in the house.
Salute, we're going down.
Man.
Hey, man, I said Kid Chocolate. That is the great Cuban fighter. You know what I'm saying? Let's give a man some respect. This man done butchered this man's name 3 times. First he called him Chocolatito. Then he just say chocolate. He won't call the man Kid Chocolate to save his life. And then D-Lo talking about my reading comprehension skills and all that. Hey, brother, y'all be typing some crazy ass hieroglyphics off in that chat a lot of the time. So you can't hold me to that shit. Y'all niggas need to tighten up, especially you, OG. You know you'll type anything. You know what I'm saying? That nigga don't even have his words in the right order. Like, what is this nigga doing?
I had my moments. Oh, he in Michigan. I hope it's a he. I just said he automatic.
Hey, man, if he in Michigan, man, it's too much goddamn boxing.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Nigga, man, if you want to find some boxing, go find some boxing in Michigan, bro.
Yeah, Michigan, little baby hotbed.
That's a boxing region.
It sure
you know
is.
What I'm saying?
Two of the greats come from Michigan.
Many of the greats.
I'm
Yeah,
just
they
talking
used.
to. Go ahead.
I was gonna say here, Floyd and James Toney and Buster Matthews Jr. all stayed on the same street
Dang. Now that's
at one
something.
point. Yeah. I said James Toney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was talking about that shit. Them motherfuckers stayed up the street from each other at one point. You know what I'm saying?
I never knew that. That's some good info right there, just to have in my head. Okay, so yeah, he a guy. My bad. Trey, what you got? What you got putting in the air over there? You chilling tonight?
Oh man, I got this little. You know, I can't get to the flower, man. So I just been on this shit they call a Jeffrey. It got some all different kind of TACs in the motherfucker. I ain't gonna go through all that shit. But I'm reporting to you from the moon, nigga.
Whoa.
For real, I'm late up in this bitch because I was in this bitch gone. I had a dream about some pizza for some reason. I guess because I'm always eating healthy and shit. You know what I'm saying?
This man said he had a dream about some pizza.
Yeah, man.
Say, in case you missed it, remember when I told you guys about the shooting, right, at my job?
Yeah.
The little dude came back to the job to talk to me, to tell me he wasn't a bad person and all this kind of stuff. I'm tripping because I'm like, dude, it was self-defense. I that's all I can say. Then a couple of days later, here in Texas, everybody can carry their guns. These youngsters got guns with cartridges so long, bro. They hanging out their hoodies, out their jogging pants. Everybody got a gun. But these youngsters come in talking about, what's up, OG? You good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. What's up? And we just letting you know if somebody try to mess with you, we got you. I sure appreciate the protection.
Hey, so the shooting happened before or after the robbery?
What robbery?
I thought you had said something about that. When you was on live, you said you found out that the store got robbed.
Man, no, we didn't get robbed. They talking about another store around the corner.
Okay, I got you.
God, please don't let us get robbed. That's something I just
ain't trying for real.
I ain't trying to go through that because I might get a dumb robber and want to shoot a nigga after he give him all the money.
Hey, or a nervous one. That motherfucker got that gun pointing at you. He nervous. And that motherfucker shaking and shit in his goddamn hand. Nigga, that ain't fun either.
Yeah, I'll be mad at the motherfucker to get shot just because I gave you the money. Now you gonna still shoot me? You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
On another note, Gil Coles, was it Gil Coles or Hyphy brought up the fact that, Clarissa Shields and him is getting close.
Yeah, shit, redemption is near.
She finna beat that girl up. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping she put her hands, paws all over the girl.
I believe it.
You think she gonna beat her?
Yeah, I think she gonna get her for old and new.
Trey, what the number say? Because I ain't seen us placing nothing on those yet.
Well, that's a ways off right there. I like to bet the exact. I like to bet the exact outcome of the fight. I don't like just taking the money line. So I have to bet when the fight's close so we can take like by decision or by knockout. We can't do that shit this early. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for me, like when I looked at them in the amateurs and shit, like back in 2012 and all that, I saw them start to go different directions. Like she beat Clarissa Shields, right? And then all of a sudden, she started losing the chicks that Clarissa Shields was beating 3 rounds to nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like Clarissa going out here shutting these women out, and they beating Savannah Marshall. So after 2012, she didn't win anything significant. And except for like Commonwealth games and all that kind of shit. But Clarissa was going on winning AIBAs and winning Olympics and shit. Savannah Marshall was getting bounced out early in the Olympics. Now she's still a 4.5 on my scale, so she got action. You know what I'm saying? She's a good fighter. We ain't gonna take that away from her.
Right.
But I still see like some separation. You see what I'm saying? So I think that shit gonna play out when we see them fight.
Okay. Question. Aiden Moe says, who's y'all favorite fighter of all time? And salute to Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. He said, peace, MZ. And my G's on the panel.
Salute.
Dang, that was a good puff there. Let me start rolling up some while we see here, because this finna go. Charlie Burley is my favorite fighter. Who is your favorite fighter of all time?
Charlie Burley, your favorite fighter?
No, that's what Aiden Moe was saying.
Charlie Burley, name 5 Charlie Burley wins.
Uh-oh.
Right now, off the top of your head. Don't go to Google or nothing like that. Just name 5 Charlie Burley wins. That's a hell of a thing to say. Charlie Burley, my favorite fighter. If he's your favorite fighter, you should be able to name 5 fighters off the top of your head that he beat without no problem. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give a damn if you got 3. Yeah, give me 3 different people. I was gonna say give me 5 wins. And I was gonna say I'll take 3 from the same fighter, but I ain't gonna let him off that easy. Come on with 5 Charlie Burley opponents that he beat.
While he think about the Charlie Burley situation, has anybody seen his trailer to this Mike Tyson movie that they finna put out? It's about to put out. It's called Mike.
Not the one with Jamie Foxx. You talking about the other one, right?
Right, the other one.
Yeah, I've been seeing that trailer. I've been seeing it on my Roku thing. I forgot what channel they were talking about it was gonna be on though. Maybe Netflix, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is gonna be a Netflix special, but it looks like it might be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. I like the one they made years ago with Michael Jai White. It was actually pretty good to me.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was I'd say, man, it came out probably 2005, maybe.
No, I think it was older
than that.
Yeah,
okay.
That was on old school HBO. That was a good movie because I don't even think in that movie he went to prison or there was some. It was real early though.
Okay.
It was a representation of Tyson early years, like when he was like 20 and shit. But he looked just like he looked like him. He played a role good as hell.
Well, this one that I'm talking to D-Lo
and it was 95.
Okay.
See, I figured it was in the 90s. It was still, like I said, that was before Tyson even went to prison. So that was way back.
No, he went to prison because he got out of prison in 96, I think. I know he beat Bruce Seldon, and because Bruce Seldon laid down, and then Tupac got shot. 96.
He played that. That was a good way to put that. That could have been the rhyme. You said he laid it down, then Tupac got shot.
Oh yeah, man. Bruce Seldon had stood like a man and tried to actually fight. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the fight would win a few more rounds. Tupac would have been in the lobby fighting, and one got shot outside the arena.
Yeah, you're right. That was 92 when he went to prison.
What happens,
Uh-oh. Trix, look like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He put 5 names. 6.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah, I see that shit. He got Fritzy Zivic. Charlie Burley went 2-3. 2-1 against Fritzy Zivic. Should have beat him all 3 times, but the third fight is a special fight for me because Charlie Burley beat him with only throwing 6 right hands in the whole fight. That was a lead hand education clinic. Y'all know I'm always talking about the lead hand education and talking about doubling and tripling up with the same hand. Charlie Burley went out there and schooled the man with 1 hand. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he talked about the Coco Kid. I mean, I guess that's kind of easy because he talking about the Black Murderers role and stuff. Billy Seuss, that's one of the early. I think that might have been an early loss for Charlie Burley, if I'm not mistaken. He got Shorty and Big Boy Hugh or Hogue, however you say their names. They some brothers and shit. They was pretty tough. They get out there with anybody. Archie Moore, yeah, he was one of the people that put a good whooping on Archie Moore. Him and what's my man from California? Eddie Booker. Eddie Booker was the first person to stop him. And he got 6 on. That's pretty. I'll give it to him. I didn't see him. I didn't see him put it out there to know how fast he put them ounces out there.
I was just joking, man. I don't know when he put them. I ain't even looking at the chat. I was just messing around.
I actually was watching. He put him in pretty good timing.
Yeah, I was just talking to him. That's good shit, man. I respect that. Charlie Burley is one of my favorite fighters too. That's why I had asked that. I don't even know who my favorite fighter of all time is. Though. Who y'all favorite fighter of all time? I never really just thought about that shit.
I don't really know either, man. I can only talk about who I guess that of the time. I guess I could say of my era, so to speak. I would say Roy Jones Jr. You know, maybe a Wicked Wright. You know, guys like that I was really really high on. You know, during that time in their heyday. But you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys that came before them. I just didn't get an opportunity to see them. You know, see as much of a sample size because you know it wasn't until recently. You know, we didn't have YouTube back when the old guy was fighting, so I could barely get footage of these other fighters. Now go online and look at film of early Tommy Hearns fights and stuff like that, and all these other guys that we really didn't have access to. To the archives to actually see those fights. But you know what I'm saying, if I just off the top of my head think about who I enjoyed watching the most and I was, probably the most in awe of and, impressed with, would have been Roy Jones Jr. But now when I look back at all these other films and stuff, if I spend enough time, there's other guys that I like better, but I just ain't seen enough of them.
You know, and I sat and I thought about because even before I just saw where Bruce goes type, because he say Ali, and I never really thought about it, but Ali is my favorite fighter. He got the best victory of all time for me when he went out there and beat George Foreman, shut everybody up because didn't nobody think he could beat him. Got people crying and shit, thinking he going to his own funeral. Went out there and handled that business. Stood up for something against the Vietnam War. We all know the story. Right. Olympic gold medalist, so he got that amateur pedigree. He a 5 on the pedigree scale, so your boy Trey X love that. Going out there beating everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a shot. And beat him several times if it wasn't decisive enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to listen to him talk. Motherfucker Ali is a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? What did he say last night? What did he say? I murdered a rock. No, you say, I murdered injured a rock. What did motherfuckers Ali say, man? I injured a rock.
I know the quote you're talking about.
Who something in jail?
Hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He say I'm bad, fast. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom. Hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. And then Don King say, incredible. And you, George Foreman, all you chumps are gonna bow when I'm whooping all of you. I know you got him. Pick, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love Ali. I never thought about it, but I really do. That's my favorite fighter.
And to me, Ali is kind of like, it's almost like you don't want to just say Ali when someone asks, because it's almost like that's the easiest name to go to. You know what I mean? But he's probably more people's favorite than many others.
He's my favorite. He's been my favorite since I was a little kid. I watched him take a long when he lost to Leon Spinks. That was in the 80s. I cried.
How they say, if he ain't your favorite fighter, he your favorite fighter.
There it is. And he was a light heavyweight. He came in and took over the heavyweights from the light heavyweight. He was a light heavyweight. I love
him when he was in the Olympics.
He was so fast. Yeah. They ruined his prime. We missed a lot of beautiful fights from him in his prime because of that stance that he took. But that stance that he took against that war made him that galvanized him. That just made him even that much more of a symbol in boxing. You can't argue with he beat the government and he beat up people, especially George Foreman. When George Foreman ran through Joe Frazier like it was nothing. And did he beat up Ronnie Lyle too? Or was it Ken Norton? He beat up one of those dudes.
And George Foreman and Ron Lyle, they had that elevator fight. They were knocking each other down when they fought, but I think that was a little bit later.
I know he destroyed when he destroyed Frazier, and they thought
Destroyed him.
Frazier was like at that time they was like nobody could beat Frazier. They thought that was going to be a good fight. And listening to George Foreman in the interview, he was like, I kept knocking him down because I was scared he was going to get to me. Which
Yeah.
I like George Foreman too. On a different note, he's not like my favorite, but I give him like number 5 because I like Ali, Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler, Sweet Pea, and Floyd. Bruce Goes is in the house. What's up, Bruce? Man,
What's up,
glad to
guys?
have you through.
I love Ali, man. I love talking about Muhammad Ali. You know, you're talking about your favorite fighters, and man, I just love an Ali conversation, man. Somebody from the Philippines invited me on their web channel last week because they heard me talking about Ali. I did a little show about Ali once on my channel, and man, like I was saying to Trey, I did love Ali, and I think I loved Ali as much as I loved my father. You know, I grew up with Ali, and man, I was afraid to go to Vietnam, and Ali, he kind of fucking galvanized it. What the fuck are we doing in Vietnam, man? What the fuck are we fighting over there for? You know, I'm not gonna quote him, bro, but man, I mean that divided the country. And when he beat Joe Frazier, he beat the fucking United States government, bro. I mean, they wanted to crucify Ali. And man, it was okay not to be drafted and not to go fight in Vietnam because Ali made it okay. And man, I mean, he was just such a human being. I mean, more than a boxer, bro. You know, and you're talking about going to Zaire and fighting George Foreman. Everybody thought he was crazy, man. Even like Don King, he just wanted to make the money, and he was ready to ship Ali back in a body bag. But man, he proved everybody wrong. I mean, and I didn't go to that fight. I had a job in Boston. I was an usher at the Boston Orpheum in the music hall. And, you know, he didn't get paid to do it, but we got to see every band that came to town. So I had to go there on that night. And it was Bruce Springsteen. And he came out in the middle of his show and he says, "Hey, any boxing fans out there? Muhammad Ali just knocked out George Foreman in Zaire, Africa, in the 8th round to become the heavyweight champion of the world for the 2nd time." And the place went fucking crazy. And man, you know, I get so many memories of Ali. I just wanted to step on before I went to bed, man. I got a big day tomorrow, and you know, Trey X. I just talked to fucking Dave Tiberi a little while ago.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the guy that had that fucking controversial draw with James Lights Out Tony, and he never fought again. The United States Senate got involved in it because they found out it was so crooked, man. There were 2 unlicensed judges there. The referee was inept. He was under censors from all kind of states. And anyway, you know, it kind of spurred the Muhammad Ali Act. That's why I mentioned it with Muhammad Ali. You know, it made tried to make the country aware of how crooked boxing was and how these you know, outrageous decisions and promoters making sure that their fighter won and crooked judges. But anyway, man, I just wanted to stop on for a second, put my 2 cents in there about Ali because, man, like you said, man, he was my favorite, and all you guys, you're doing a good job up here, and I'm gonna be listening to you while I conk off tonight, man. So, man, shout out to all of you, man, and God bless.
Appreciate you stopping through, Bruce. Always great to have you.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, I'm smoking some AK-47 right now and some Do-Si-Do, bro. I'm getting myself nice and mellowed.
Man, you keep that gas going
So-
over there. Peace.
Man,
Get him, though.
Gil Cole say Tyson made me a boxing fan.
yeah, I can imagine how they felt in that arena, man. You know what I'm saying? Having the boss just interrupt his set to announce that, because when he said that, even though I know, you know what I'm saying, what the outcome was, when he just told that little story, man, I got chills like I was, you know what I'm saying, just hearing it, you know, like I was just getting news that it just happened. So I
Yeah,
can
that
only
was,
imagine how they felt at that time.
what the thing that I got out the story is they did it for free because they didn't get paid. I'm like, what kind of job is that? But they got to see all the concerts, and that what he just shared with us. That's a hell of a memory.
Hey, that's like working concession, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my son was doing that a couple years ago. When he was a junior. He worked Clemson games, and they didn't pay him. They was able to get tips if they could keep their tips. But hell, you was in every home game.
Hey, let me jump in real quick. Speaking of, like, you guys talking about Ali, something recently happened. I think they sold.
Speaking of pay,
Huh? Yeah, whatever, nigga.
Shots
But
fired.
no, they just recently sold his championship belt, which they claim they found in a locker somewhere that he had gave I cannot think of his name. You guys know what I'm talking about. The one that used to help with his rhymes and stuff like that.
Bodini.
Yeah, Bodini. And they said they found that belt that he had gifted Bodini in a locker, and they just sold it for $6.5 million.
I think I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that there. Some collector got it.
Yeah, the reason I feel salty about that because Ali obviously consciously know who he was, and giving that belt to him, he knows was going to have significant value, and it sucks that his family's not going to get any of those proceeds, and it's not going to go to the because that's generational wealth from that belt that he gifted somebody that they claim he left into a locker, which I don't believe that shit. It doesn't make sense to me that he would do that, but.
Jim Irsay bought it. The owner of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, $6 million for that belt.
Wow. The things people do, the things that happen to great people.
Yeah, but Ali, that's my man. I also think it's a shame that we didn't get to see Sugar Ray Robinson in his prime. We got a chance to read about him. We saw him at middleweight, but that wasn't his real true prime. Like his true prime when he was a 5'11", 72-inch reach welterweight.
Yeah, I bet he was a monster in that.
A motherfucking beast. You know what I'm saying? But then there's some other greats that we didn't get a chance to see. Like, ain't no footage of Harry Gregg at all. And they say he like the greatest pressure fighter of all time. And it's a shame that we don't get a chance to see the greatest pressure fighter of all time. What that look like?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
You're right. But I'm sure somebody got some footage somewhere. If that would be something great to watch. I'm sitting here I'm sitting here just imagining now how fast Ali was when he was fighting
Sonny Liston.
Yes, how he was so fast he had the man like just flinching from him fainting at him. That was something remarkable. His hand speed was so ridiculous, because I went through old films, and then they have stuff that they be showing on they got on TV. They got this thing called Facing Ali, right? With Ken Norton, George Foreman, Frazier. It's kind of old because we know Frazier's dead. All the old fighters that he fought where he had good fights, even the guys from across the sea, overseas, they were talking about the actual fights that they were having and what kind of things went place and how they were grateful that Ali actually blossomed their career, kind of like something like Floyd do, making a person get money, getting them paid from fighting. And these guys were talking about how Ali was that guy back in that day. And the way he just talked so bad to Joe Frazier kind of had a hate for that man. He just didn't understand. Ali was pretty much a great salesman. He was Floyd and Rolly and all these other guys that try to be like that back then.
Yeah, but that was like the one thing that he did that I don't like, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel what you're saying. He kind of you feel like he went a little overboard, and I can see how with the gorilla thing and everything like that.
Yeah, it was just that, like the gorilla stuff.
Yeah, back in that time, how things were so sensitive. Yeah, I can agree with you, but I can also see that he was pretty much just really selling the fight. That's all.
I know, but Ali, he could sell the fight a million different ways. He didn't have to like put that stereotype out there with a light skinned black go against the dark skinned black. So
Right.
since he's dark skinned, let's call him a gorilla. That's what they want. That's you know what I'm saying. That's who is that for? Is that for us? Well, I guess it's for us. It's for us because we fight amongst each other about light skin and dark skin. So I didn't think that was player. But like I said, ain't nobody perfect. I mean, a man is entitled to slip up on something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So yeah, I he had his flaws. He had his flaws, but we love him because he was magical in the ring.
Yeah, that was just the one for me. Everything else was all good. I ain't got no issue with Ali outside of that. That's my man. Ali go out there and fought the best of them. You know what I'm saying? And fought him several times if he had to.
Called Floyd Patterson. He called Floyd Patterson a scared rabbit.
Yeah,
Floyd Patterson was the first one to win the belt twice, right? Ali was the first one to win it 3 times.
yeah, but he was saying that because they were trying to keep him away from Sonny Liston early on, and you see what happened to him when Sonny Liston finally got to him.
Man,
so you know what I'm saying?
He destroyed Patterson.
Yeah,
but Ali was confident. Came in there and put that speed on Sonny Liston, made him quit on the stool.
Yeah, that's probably his greatest win too. His first fight against Sonny Liston. Well, not his greatest win. They got probably the second greatest win out behind George Foreman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But really, it depends on how you look at it. If you want to look at vintage Ali at his best, that's his best performance right there. On the highest stage against a high caliber opponent, and he went out there and looked beautiful doing it. Against George Foreman, it was a high caliber opponent, dangerous opponent, a seemingly impossible to defeat type of opponent, but it wasn't the same Ali. This is not the Ali that's out there dancing and floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. This is a more grounded Ali, you know what I'm saying? Got to be more crafty with his mind instead of relying on his athleticism.
Right.
But he still found a way to get the job done. And his opponent that he was going against was in his prime. George Foreman was about 24, and Ali was about 32. So George Foreman in his prime, you know what I'm saying? But Ali still found a way to get it done. So if you want to look at him in his prime physically, Sonny Liston. If you want to look at him in his prime mentally, George Foreman.
Yeah, what I find strange, or I ain't gonna say strange, but you know what I'm saying, what kind of make those almost like bookends, even though he still had a lot of great fights, you know what I'm saying, after that. Sonny Liston was like George Foreman before George Foreman. And Foreman was like a protege of Sonny Liston. So, it was like basically, I beat the master and I beat his student.
I never thought about that because George Foreman and Sonny Liston trained together. And both of them are known for having some of the strongest jabs in the history of boxing. So that make a whole bunch of sense what you said. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that was a good nugget right there. That was a great gem.
Yeah, I tend to drop some of those when I be on that Magilla Gorilla.
There you go. Man, he got me with that too.
He I'm gonna get you back.
I'm gonna get you back. I'm petty like that. I gotta get you.
All good, man.
He said Ali was business. He said, let me get on that first. For you who don't know, Jake LaMotta was the first to beat Sugar Ray Robinson in his pro career. I see how you put it down.
Yeah, we know that, man. He beat him at middleweight though. But what happened the next 5 times they fought? In the last fight, what they call that? The St. Valentine Day Massacre. I'm talking about with Sugar Ray Robinson. See, earlier in the fight, it was really it was competitive. I mean, this is Jake LaMotta. He's not gonna go out there and lay down, right? So, but I swear, like I think it was like about the round 8, something like that. It's been a while since I've seen the fight. Everything just started going all wrong for Jake. I'm talking about Ali just started moving. Not Ali, but Sugar Ray just started moving and popping, boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, bop, bop. I'm talking about just moving and putting combinations all on this dude, and he made them work. Every time they got in the clinch and the referee broke them, Sugar Ray, he'll back up far. So Jake LaMotta had to work to get to him. And he just over there just piecing this dude up the whole time. That's the only time that Jake LaMotta ever been stopped in his whole career. Like, he was a very tough man, you know what I'm saying? But he went out there and got destroyed by Sugar Ray coming down the stretch in the 6th fight, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Jack Johnson. I like watching old footage of him, especially that fight where he knocked the dude's teeth out.
Yeah, that was yeah. He was a middleweight though. That's the only thing about that. That's if you really think about it, like the most impressive thing about him is like his historical significance, in my opinion, because like his opponents wasn't just top notch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like except for the fearsome foursome type opponents, like when he going out there fighting against Sam Langford and he fighting against Sam McVeigh, and he had fights against who was the other one?
Joe Jeanette.
Joe Jeanette, there we go. Now them was some tough fights, but when he broke through and he started fighting Tommy Burns, like Tommy Burns is literally the smallest heavyweight champion in history. He was like 5'7" or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He fought against the Boilermaker, I think they call him, Jim Jeffries, but hell, matter of fact, he ain't even had no tune-up fight, and he hadn't fought in like 6 years or some shit like that. It was a long time he had been retired. I can't remember exactly how many years, but it was a long time. You know what I'm saying? He fighting against people like Joe Choinsky and stuff like that on the come up. He was like a Hall of Fame type motherfucker, if I'm not mistaken, but he was still small though. For the most part, like a lot of them guys he was fighting, they wasn't like giants. Like Stanley Ketchel was a middleweight. You know what I'm saying? He did fight a big one in Jess Willard. That's the person that defeated him for the championship in 1915. Jack Johnson was getting older. He was out of shape. He was abroad too because he had to leave the country because of the Mann Act and shit. You know, he was wanted by the law.
Right.
And Jess Willard caught him out there, you know what I'm saying, late in the fight. They say Jack Johnson was winning early, but then he started slowing down the stretch and he got beat by Jess Willard. But his opponents ain't just no star-studded list. Like if you look at him and Ali, to me it ain't no comparison.
Oh no.
Yeah, like Jack Johnson ain't got no George Foreman and Joe Frazier and probably even Ken Norton level motherfuckers on there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying.
You talking about after he won a championship though? Because before he won the championship, he had those.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like his championship level fights, like the fights that people know him for. You know what I'm saying? Like most people, they don't know about him fighting Joe Jeanette and all them kind of dudes. That was before all that. And plus, once he won the championship, he didn't want to fight them kind of people no more. The only black fighter that he fought after he won the championship was battling Jim Johnson.
Yeah, and he was like blind or something in one eye at the time or something like that.
I think that's his name. I think it's battling Jim Johnson, but I don't know if he was blind or anything like that. But
no, I'm thinking about the guy Joe Lewis fought. My bad. Joe Lewis fought another guy last name Lewis. I forgot what his name is.
John Henry Lewis. That was his good friend.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah,
that's the first black light heavyweight champion, like black American light heavyweight champion. The first black one overall is battling Siki, but the first black American, African American champion, light heavyweight champion, John Henry Lewis. You know what I'm saying? But I got respect for Jack Johnson though. I like his jab, man. Jack Johnson got a cold jab. If you go out there and watch him, he's known for being one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time. Whenever I see fighters lean back and I'm calling the fight, I always say lean back like you're Jack Johnson. Like I say that when I call the Wilder fight and different fights and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got respect for him, but I just don't think his strength of schedule was the best once he won the championship because he refused to fight the type of opponents he was fighting on the way to the championship.
He kind of pulled a Canelo.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
No, I don't. Maybe a lot of that has to do with the times too.
Yeah, well,
there's
of
a lot
course.
there's a lot of things that go into that. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, like you said, he don't have the names on there at a certain point.
It's not. It was the money. It wasn't no money in fighting them dudes like Joe Jeanette. You gonna go out there and go life and death with a motherfucker like Joe Jeanette for some peanuts when you can go out here and fight little bitty Stanley Ketchel for a lot more money.
Well, I
Right.
was gonna say the people behind the money behind the fights, they probably didn't see the value in putting, for a championship fight, two black guys against each other when they got all these, because they wanted to get the title back out of a black man's hands anyway.
Exactly.
And if you keep putting them against other black fighters, you'll never get another white champion and never get a shot at winning. So I think that probably had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, I think it was both ends.
Well, he ate the competition that was put in front of him. I know y'all like Sweet Pea.
Oh yeah, I do. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Did he or did he not beat Oscar De La Hoya?
I thought he did.
That was like one of the worst judgments in the fight to me.
I thought he beat Chavez too.
I definitely thought he beat Chavez. I haven't seen him fight De La Hoya in a while. I know when I first watched the fight, I thought De La Hoya could have got it. But when I went back and watched it again, I felt like Sweet Pea could have got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, that wasn't as cut and dry to me as the Chavez one. Like, that was just egregious. It was Mexicans that was telling me, they were like, man, Chavez ain't it wasn't no draw. You know what I'm saying? That man lost to Sweet Pea.
At least you got some fans that kept it real.
I ain't heard too many Mexicans say that Chavez should have won the fight or that was a rightful draw. Matter of fact, I ain't never heard now one of them say that. Hey, I don't think Sweet Pea won it, motherfucker, from my experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never heard anybody, period, say they felt like
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? That Chavez won that fight.
Yeah, for real.
I'm talking about on TV, anywhere.
The hardest core Mexican fan don't say he won that fight. It's like nobody says it.
But crazy. Sweet Pea first loss was a robbery. When he fought that Jose Luis Ramirez, he went out there and boxed circles around this dude. It was a clinic. You know what I'm saying? And he somehow lost that fight. And then he came back in the rematch and dominated the motherfucker, of course. But the first fight was a domination. It was just a masterpiece. He was just out there moving and grooving, popping this motherfucker, using angle. He wasn't doing no running. I'm talking about just boxing this dude in a circle, just steady turning him and putting them combinations on the motherfucking ass. I don't know how the man lost the fight, but that's his first loss, though.
It was paid for.
And then didn't Chavez get a gift over Frankie Randall too before he beat him officially?
Yeah, I didn't even know they fought twice. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
I think they did. I might be thinking about somebody else. I might have to check Baccarat.
Bruce Gann said that even King knew it was a gift. Speaking of King, on Don King, it's something that I have found out that's true. And then when I watched the real fight, if you get a chance to watch the real fight when Ali beat George Foreman, try to find a copy where they show the camera when it pans out from the fight. And what made me look for this is because I saw it in the Ali movie, where it's a Don King movie where the dude is playing Don King. He like narrating. I can't remember what the name of it is. But after Ali beat him, the guy that played Don King said that Ali told him to get the fuck away from him and stay away from him or something like that, and called him a motherfucker or something. And when I watched the fight, the real fight, and the camera bags back, you literally can see Don King come up smiling and Ali say something to him, and it's like Don King was like, "What?" And he said it again. and he and his crew, his corner people, they start, making their way through the crowded ring, and Don King was just standing there with a stupid ass look on his face.
Yeah.
That was one of the. I saw it in the movie, and it made me want to see the fight, and I just happened to find a copy of that fight on YouTube, actually, and you could actually see that part. I'm like, wow, they really put that in there, and he really did that.
Yeah, ain't hard to believe. Hey Trey, I just look. They fought 2 times back to back. Rounder 1, the first fight, and the second one was a technical draw, I think. For Chavez.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Hey, look. That's what I be saying. Weird shit happens in rematches, bro. So the first fight went out there and they had a regular fight. This man won, and they come back in a rematch, and it's a fucking technical draw. It must have been a headbutt.
Yeah, Bruce Gold said Randall won the first fight, and Chavez was given the rematch on a cut. Bogus.
Oh, he put it in the chat. I didn't see it.
It was on the cut, and that's just like we just had a fight not that long ago with Israel Madrimov. I can't remember the name of the guy that he fought, man. He fought this black dude with a bald head that come from France. Fuck. But it was a rematch though. Because the first time Madrimov, he stopped the dude, but it was after the bell. So they made him run it back. And the second time it ended up being a technical draw because they had a fucking head clash. And that's why I say, man, like when it's a rematch, weird shit happens a lot of the time. That's why it'd be hard for me to predict them. That's like when we make our bets, bro, we ain't touching no rematches ever. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's a rule of thumb. I'm putting that in the book.
Yeah, fuck a rematch, man.
And now I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at the most recent rematches that I can remember, and the only one that I could say something weird didn't happen was something stupid happened in that. That's why he got knocked out. I can't think of a rematch that something weird didn't happen in that fight.
I mean, it's not always like that. Like, for example, I got some rematches where weird shit didn't happen. Like Robert Helenius, when he fought against Adam Kaneki, he went out there and just stopped the motherfucker twice. The first time he went out there and beat his ass. The second time he did it better. And then another one was Johnny Rice against Michael Coffey. Rice went out there and beat the brakes off him in the first time. I think he might have stopped him. And then the second time he came back out of shape and he just beat him by decision. You know what I'm saying? But so sometimes, it is. And those are the type of rematches that I predict. I get the prediction right. Like I pick the winner. But all them other times when the weird shit happen, that's when I don't get it right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you look at Vladimir Klitschko when he fought Tony Thompson. It looked like it was just a replay of the same fight. We fought him. He got back in a mandatory contention again with a different sanction about it. He just beat him the same way again. But then you think about Lennox Lewis against the Atomic Bull. That's like the worst case scenario of a rematch just going wrong. Yeah, or even what's it? I don't know if it was a rematch or the trilogy fight, but Bo versus Holyfield when the dang guy crashed through the
with that parachute.
Yeah, but you could think of like Lennox Lewis when he went against Hakeem Rockman. Rockman won the first one by knockout. Lennox Lewis won the second one by knockout.
Yeah, that too.
Look at
Tyson and Holyfield.
The bite of the ear.
Yeah, look at Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. The first fight was messed up. So all they fights, I just can't even talk about them.
Nonito Donaire and Inoue. We go to the cards the first time. The second time, Inoue knocked his ass out. It was another one that I had in my mind.
Charlo and Tony Harris.
Charlo and Tony Harrison. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of the time, man, what happened the first time does not go the same way the second time. And I think the reason for that, like you factor in familiarity going in, and you also factor in motivation. because I started thinking about like NFL games, because they got division games. They got to play the same team twice, and a lot of the time, even in those games, the team that won the first time doesn't necessarily win the second time, and I think that's a big reason to do with it. I mean, I know they're changing locations. Like you was a home team in one game, you were a away team in the other game, but at the same time, you got familiarity, and you also have motivation, like you want to get revenge, and I think those are extra variables that can sway an outcome of a fight or outcome of a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charles was
like think
perfect.
about when the Giants, played the Patriots last game of the year, and then they ended up playing them in the Super Bowl.
That shit there, they lost a close game to them Patriots.
Yep.
And that shit there gave them the confidence going into them playoffs, nigga. They went through that running through shit to get back, because they went on the road. They went into the playoffs like 9-7, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, it wasn't. They got hot at the right time.
Yeah, hot at the right time.
Eli
going
turned
into the playoffs.
True Manny. True Eli just don't he got 2 rings, right?
Yeah. That second one though, OG,
crazy.
That's the most for me, in my personal opinion, that's one of the most underrated seasons a quarterback ever had in the NFL, because that man, they had so many injuries that season, bro. Their team was not 100%, but they would still go like to San Francisco, and they played Jim Harbaugh's San Francisco 49ers when they had Patrick Bowman and all the motherfuckers. That defense was humming. This is 2011. These dudes are young. Varro Bowman and all the motherfuckers. And Eli went down there and beat them. You know what I'm saying? He beat them 24-17. And he held the fort down while they had all them injuries. And then when they went into the playoffs, people started getting healthy again. And then they made a run, got back to the Super Bowl and took it down. But that's one of the most underrated seasons for a quarterback, especially that I've seen. You know
who they beat in that Super Bowl, Trey?
They beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots again. Hell yeah.
So they beat them both times.
Yeah, they beat them both times.
I didn't remember that.
Because they stopped the undefeated season.
Yeah, that first time.
Yeah, that was the first one. That's the one I was talking about.
That first one, they had the best defensive line that I seen, like in my lifetime. Michael Strahan, they got O.C. Umenyiora, they had Justin Tuck, and they had
Jason Pierre-Paul.
No, he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there yet. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't there. I think he was in that second one. I think this dude name was Mike Austin. Do that sound familiar to you? But I know he was coming off that line because they sacked Donovan McNabb 18 times in one game that season. Like every time Donovan dropped back, he went down. I was like, damn. I know that number sound crazy. I wanted to say 13, but somebody corrected me one day. And they was like, nah, nigga, not 13. It was 18. And that's what I was thinking. But I was like, man, 18 is too high of a number. That man got sacked 18 times in that game. And I sat there and watched it. I was like, damn, these niggas coming out.
That video game stuff, man.
Yeah. Like
I wouldn't have nothing to say to the line for about the whole
You know who else took a pounding like that? But they took a pounding like that for a season? Derek Carr.
Oh man, yeah. He's one of the most sacked quarterbacks of all time. I remember that shit. He had a little bit of talent. They knocked all the talent out.
They killed him. They killed him. They messed that boy up. They couldn't block my grandmother, and she did.
It was an expansion team, though.
I know.
Like,
they could have picked better than that because those dudes could not block nothing.
It's just like Deion Sanders. I saw him do an interview, and
you talking about David Carr, right?
David, yeah. Did I say Derek?
Yeah, you said Derek. You talking about the older brother?
Oh yeah, I knew who you talking about.
I remember that now.
Yeah, I knew you talking about
the most sacked quarterback in history.
That's just like they asked Deion Sanders here recently about playing Alabama, And he was like, nah, hell no, I ain't gonna put my team out there like that for no check. He said, we gotta beef up the middle first before we can play a team like that. Shit, I need another year or two or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
especially with his son playing quarterback.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
So how's he doing as a coach?
It seems like he's doing an outstanding job from
I think he's
everything
doing a
I've been
great
seeing.
job, man.
Now I'm gonna have to watch to find out about it because I stopped watching football and I stopped watching basketball and just the only thing I've been watching and messing with is boxing. I don't know anything about basketball and football anymore. And I used to be an avid fan.
Yeah, I'm weak too. Like I could talk about shit that happened years ago, but I don't really know a lot about what's going on right now.
I know what's not going on. Payments to a debt.
He been real quiet too, nigga. Hashtag pay your bill. Ever since I got on the panel, this nigga been quiet, ain't he, man?
I heard you laughing.
God damn. Yeah, pay your bill.
He been quiet the whole time, really.
£100, £100. Hey man, when you did that damn British accent, boy, I was down there laughing like a motherfucker. Yeah, £100, man. That's $120.51. And yeah, I did put the 51 cent, but now I'll just say the 120 because y'all still don't be giving a fuck about them pence. That's what they call it. It ain't cents, it's pence.
So y'all sit from across the water?
Yeah. A motherfucking player. Ain't that crazy? A player across the water, man. I'm talking about 100% solid motherfucker, man. I'm talking about keep the book straight on everything. And that's the motherfucker that's solid. Then our own homegrown brother right here is the motherfucker that we gotta publicly shame and shit. Yeah, ridicule and shit. Yeah, that shit wild, man. We know. Y'all said that motherfucker player though, real shit.
King's taking it like a true, strong buck slave. He beat me. I still. He will not break. He like one said. Say what you gonna say. I'm staying right here. I can take it. My skin thick.
That motherfucker over there looking like Denzel on Glory.
Glory, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I was thinking about Eddie Murphy on Harlem Nights. You know what I'm saying? Still hit like a bitch. No, I'm thinking about the other movie, Life, where he took that beating from Gold Mouth. Yeah. Still hit like a bitch.
Yeah.
Caught it able to the heat. Man, I don't know what to say, but he hanging in there. He like, fuck that, I can take it. He a true general of a block family that just won't pay his bill.
That nigga there just refused to pay his bill, man. Refused to pay his bill. And how long ago was that fight, man?
That fight was October 21st, 2021. It was October something, 2021.
Damn, that shit was 2 weeks after my birthday. I'm about to have another birthday not that long from now, in a few months. And this nigga ain't paid his bill. Hey, can you pay your bill for my birthday?
Hey, I told him he lucky the juice ain't running on it. That money be done matured like a motherfucker.
Hey, bro, can you pay your bill for my birthday? Let me get that as a birthday gift that you pay your bill, nigga. My birthday is in the beginning of October.
He did say that he talked to you, but he ain't gonna say something because he don't want to lie to you twice.
Yeah. He straight lied to me. Yo, take care of that.
Man, my man got to go and take care of that though, because you know what? One day he gonna want to bet some more, and then when he win, you know, he gonna want to get paid.
Oh man, one day he gonna see a fight, and he got him right where he want him. Oh man, this nigga got the perfect pick. Everybody riding with this one nigga. He know this other nigga gonna win. Got him right where he want him. Can't even get a bet in because your word ain't good. That's cold, man.
That's horrible.
Horrible. Shit. And then look, you got somebody like Yasser. Shit, if you got somebody that's gonna bet and they square business about paying, shit, you supposed to take him to the side and trim him. If you really know what you're doing, you got somebody that all you got to do is pay your bill and get them hooked, and then come back and trim it. That's what you do.
Yep.
He ain't no hustler.
Fellas, I'm finna go ahead and drop on off. I gotta get up in about 3.5 hours and go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna retire this motherfucker. So I'm gonna get with y'all, man. I'm gonna jump off. I gotta put my phone in the charger. Y'all know my shit on 8%. I ain't gonna even go all the way to 0 today.
Been real, y'all. I appreciate it.
Luke.
No problems, there's no problems with me. I don't need no ticket on the windows at the way to see. I keep moving, always keep these people in your sight. I keep moving, you never know who's wrong or who's right. Worry about no problems, there's no problems with me. I don't need no ticket on the windows at the way to see. I keep moving, always keep your eyes on the prize. I keep moving. Never know who's truly on your side.
I'm on a mission for them dead white boys. You know the dead ones get stacked up. When you walk into a strip club, hustle up, watch hoes act up. Niggas look strange, I look strange back. You got a problem, you don't really want that. That alcohol got you thinking you walked in, don't make me just prove that. Now I'm trying to let you make it, my nigga, just let it be. But that devil off up in you, so you gon' come fuck with me. Now I'm gonna make it home and you might not let there be new scripture. If you cross the line, I can guarantee that I'll let that be hit you.
I don't worry about no problems, there's no problem with me. I don't need no ticket on the windows that give me to see. I keep moving, always keep the people in your sight. I keep moving, you never know who's wrong or who's right. Worry about no problems, there's no problems with me. I don't need no ticket on the windows that give me to see. I keep moving, always keep your eyes on the prize. I keep moving, you never know who's truly on your side.
I keep on moving like soul to soul. Penetrate your mind, let your conscience flow. Like water from the aquifer. Look you in the ocular and see the infinity. For the Hennessy, take a sip. Though these difficult clips full of hollow tips. Got the mics with the front grip when I spit. Have brothers like a middle shit.
Niggas killing me with this mother shit that you hear. Ability to speak with clarity, it's so unclear.
But I'ma need you to step your game up. Cause if not, you a Trump, that's a lame duck. I'ma call you super dead cause your game suck. Hack your shit and you nigga ain't truck. What?
Worry about no problems, there's no problem with me. I don't need no tears upon my windows that give me to see. I keep moving, always keep the people in your sight. I keep moving, you never know who's wrong or who's right. Worry about no problems, there's no problem with me. I don't need no tears upon my windows that give me to see. I keep moving, always keep your eyes on the prize. I keep moving, you never know who's truly on your side.
Niggas killing me with this mother shit that you hear. Ability to speak with clarity, it's so unclear.
I said niggas be talking crazy, hold up, don't make them wait. I don't chase after hoes, I really make change, okay, let's get that straight. Nah, back to the grill, when these niggas got beef, yes man, gon' bring your stage. By the time you realize we got a problem, then it's too late.
I don't worry about no problems, there's no problem with